Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Flea and I are back as we continue our look into horror anime with Mieruko-chan. She can see dead people. She just chooses to ignore them. That's Miko's plan anyway, with horrifying and sometimes hilarious results. Oh, man. Yeah, we were starting to discuss, we've got a good series when we're like starting to get into it before we even go live.
Wait, have we had any bad series yet?
What do you call it? The Demon City Shinjuku. No, the series have actually been quite decent. That's actually a good point. The movies have been some of them have been a bit the ropey side. The actual series though that we've covered so far have been great.
I think that's the nature of films though, because they try to cram so much into so short a time. And it's like the series, it actually gives you the space to pace things a bit.
Although not so much this one. This is my only real complaint is that they had plenty, the 12 episodes, and they wasted quite a bit of time. There's a lot of lore there and storytelling opportunity, and they didn't jump into it.
It almost makes you want a second. It almost makes you want a second series so that you can like dig into the lore a bit more. But having read on in the manga a bit, yeah, they don't. They might just be starting to in the latest chapters, but
yeah, that's a bit. That's the only thing is there's actually a great premise for a story here. There's things to explore, and there was an overarching storyline, and they sort of glossed over it all and left us hanging at the end.
Season 2 when?
But then if they do season 2 and they do exactly the same sort of thing, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how successful it was. I mean, if it wasn't successful, there's very little chance that we'll ever get a season 2. But it's like if it was successful, you think they'd have pushed that. Mind you, it's only 4 years. It's
the end of 2021. This is quite a recent one.
The end of this year, the end of that November this year. I think it'll only be 4 years old. But they've got call them chapters. They've got like 40 chapters of material to work with. But it's like there's some really great series out there. They've got a lot of material that we're still waiting for the second series of. So
yeah, I suppose we'll see. Suppose we introduce everybody to the characters. So our main character is obviously Miko, who has the ability to see ghosts.
Poor Miko. She doesn't deserve any of it, you know.
This is a classic. This is an example of somebody breaking down mentally. Lack of sleep, always on edge, not knowing what's real or not real, not knowing how to react, and just getting her brain twisted.
It's I understand why she's doing it though. It's like she sees spirits, she sees ghosts and monsters, but she pretends not to. So if like one of them's in front of her staring into her face, she'll just like stare back and pretend nothing's happening. I understand why she's doing it. I understand the folklore behind it. Because it's like terrible things happen to people who see ghosts.
Yeah, well, they keep going. Do you see me? That's one of the main line. Every ghost is like, "Do you see me? Do you see me?" And that's the. And as we know from any ghost story that can communicate with the living, they're not very subtle. They're very needy and wanting, and they just don't stop. And yeah, who wants that in their life? We also have Hannah. She's great. She is just a bubblehead.
She's a few bananas short of a fruit basket. She's definitely got a few screws loose.
Oh yeah, she's just breezing through life, not a care in the world. The pure comedy relief.
She's far too innocent for her own good.
Then we have Yuria, who's almost like the little demonic child in this. I love when they have the eye colors that expressing their characters. I mean, Yuria's are red, and at the start you're sort of hinted that she's evil. You've got Miko's got the yellow eyes.
Miko's a yellow.
Yeah, Ham's are like a purpley sort of. Yeah. color.
But
We've got Zen Toto, who's like the stand-in teacher, like a major side plot.
his eyes are very, very flat orange.
Mm-hmm. It's that sort of, you don't know what's going on there. I don't know how I feel about his story arc, because I think that was kind of shoehorned in.
It's exactly the same in the manga from what I've seen. He's introduced as a character asking about the cat, and then he's just kind of like the teacher takes maternity leave, he comes in as the new teacher. It is pretty true to the manga in this one.
And then we'll have Mitsu, the godmother, who was a bit of a waste of a character. Waste of potential.
She's a really good character when she comes in, and you do think she's going to become a major part of the plot, but she just has like a couple of cameo pieces.
Yeah,
And the
sideline.
rest of it's
Yeah.
which is a bit of a shame. But at least she's enjoying the retirement, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, I suppose.
and it ends towards the end. She receives that photograph of Miko and Hannah.
Mm-hmm. Once again, it's all hinting for like a season 2. It's almost like this is a whole build up and an introduction to the world.
You never know. Maybe later this year there'll be if there's an announcement saying there's going to be a season 2, I'll let you know.
Oh, we'll be on that. I think this is like, for the most part, I've really enjoyed this. That's the thing. Kiosk, Mika's younger brother, who's a bit of a creeper, to be honest. There's something like seriously creepy about him.
I can't say anything really. Yes.
And then we've got obviously Mika's mother and father.
Plot twist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed this. This was stressful. The character signs hit me after a 36 movie marathon. Yeah, you can actually see her. You can see her break down through this. It's actually done really well.
It's like she as it goes on, she just seems to be more and more tired and more jumpy. It's really good. But the last episode, she just like does a total flip, and it's like everything's great, everything's fine.
But is that not the acceptance part of somebody that like she's fighting against her abilities? We'll see this story trope happen loads of times. Somebody has abilities, and they fight against it, and the why me sort of thing, and then you have that moment they accept it, and then it is like a switch in their brain.
Yeah, but then we need the action movie to start. Then we need to see like running around, exercising all these ghosts and things. Doesn't happen.
None of that's explored.
But
we start off anyway, and we meet Mika. She's out coming home from school. Raining as where she meets the first ghost. It's interesting to have a vending machine outside their apartment block.
You'll be surprised
where you find profitable vending machine ever.
You'll be surprised where you find vending machines in Japan. Train stations, department stores, schools.
Oh, can imagine them being there. That makes sense. But
you can have
just outside apartment blocks. If it was in the UK, that thing would be empty.
Oh yeah,
there'd be a big hole.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine it?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
But that one just seems to do drinks though, which is pretty good.
Could you picture a soft drink machine, vending machine outside just a block of flats?
Nah, it would have no front left on it.
The door would be off. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't even have 24 hours.
The door would be off. It'd be empty. It would last 3, maybe 4 days, and then they'd cart it away again.
Yeah. Or if they were clever about it, they would unhinge. No, they'd find a way to unhinge the latch so that they kept getting filled up. The smarter ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't. It wouldn't last. It'd be operating at a loss. But yeah, we'll see that there, and
I've got to say one thing: the ghosts, they've done a good job of drawing them.
They're proper Japanese ghosts.
They are proper spooky ghosts.
Is it like Junji Ito? Isn't it? A lot of his series have those type of ghosts.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No
yeah,
eyes, twisted features, weird mouths, arms that are way too long, necks that loop.
that was because we see varying stages with the ghosts throughout. We see the ones that still look human, and then we see these others that are just so twisted that they're not even like they don't even resemble an animal, like they are twisted creatures. And it was even the question of how do they get that state? Is it length of time? Because obviously the premise of a ghost is it stays in the mortal realm because it's unfinished business. So is it that they've been that long unable to finish their business that they've become twisted? Or is it the nature of the person that died and what they did makes them that way? We don't get an answer.
I think it's more the nature of the person because it's all to do with karma. Because you have to remember, Japan is a Buddhist country, so it's like the acts that you perform in life dictate what you're going to be like once your life is ended. So yeah,
I think we get actually the last episode. I think we get a hint of that with the ghost that she encounters.
There. So I'm just looking for a picture. I'm looking for a picture of the ghosts.
I don't think there's too much in the way of. You can tell on the older series that's more well known because there's more stuff on the internet, like screenshots and stuff.
Yeah.
But with the newer stuff, with the lesser known, not so much because I hadn't really reached that part of the zeitgeist yet.
But I have found the manga online.
Oh, cool. But yeah, we've got the ghost in the fridge as well, not just our outside, which is in, and she encounters the ghost in the fridge. That was great.
It's like of all the places where they're going to pop up, the fridge. My typing's died. But it's
Oh, where'd you put that?
Bum?
Where'd you put that picture? I saw it pop up.
Oh, sorry, I stuck it in general on your channel.
Right,
channel.
in general,
It's
right, okay.
it's slightly later on. It's the Reaper character with the axe on the train.
Yes, he's another wasted one. He reminded me. Do you know Ghost with Patrick Swayze?
Yeah,
he reminded me of the train guy there.
Actually, let me see if I can find the. Let me see if I'm getting sidetracked. Let me see if I can find the guy from the beginning. Excuse me, pardon me. There he is.
Right, hang on. Let me. Can I invite people to the server? Yeah, for those of you who's watching, I'll pop the Discord link in the chat. go to the general tab. We'll see where it's popping up.
But it's like there is the first ghost she sees, the one from the bus stop. Can you see me? I've got to be honest. When that happened, when she met the ghost at the bus stop, I was expecting a way darker series than we got.
Yeah, the animation in this, like, will go from super dark to super bright.
It
almost surrealism, with the daytime scenes.
Yeah, the animation was brilliant. The animation is really, really smooth. Really,
a little too smooth in some areas. These are school kids. I'll just say that the animation's done a little too well.
They're high schoolers. They're 16 to 18 years old. They're young adults.
Okay, I'm an old bloke. I felt wrong.
Apart from what's the chops? Apart from Yulia.
Yeah, Yulia, and it's like she didn't get spurred. I thought she was getting spurred, but no.
Poor Yulia.
Uh,
It's like being smothered to death is such a terrible way to go.
oh, got to talk about the squish. That's our introduction to Hannah.
It's
How
not
did you know it was me?
Right. Well, so the squish, lol. I thought, does he mean squish or does he mean glump?
No, that was the bit where Hannah comes right up and just grabs Miko from behind. And Miko doesn't react. It goes, hello, Hannah. How'd you know it was me? She goes, the squish. Because there's two characters. There's Hannah and there's Hannah's boobs, which are their own characters in this.
Hannah and the twins.
Yes.
Mm.
And oh my god, they do not hold back. And I'm like, shit. This, I'm just sort of going, I'm enjoying this. I shouldn't be enjoying this. Do I need to apply for the BBC now?
Colin's like, it's porn. I mean,
no, I said it was borderline. I'm saying it was just borderline.
Those Colin's never seen anime porn. He doesn't need to. It'll destroy his life forever. Trust me.
Right. Like I said, it would be fine if they weren't school kids. So fucking no. And there's a scene where she's bent over. Is it she's mopping something up, or she's in the bathroom?
Yes. Is it? Oh damn! Does she drop something?
It's something like that. But anyway, meanwhile, the camera pans in behind and just lingers, and you're like, "Oh, dude, this is wrong.
It is.
You understand why anime has this reputation?
Like you have to understand. Like this anime belongs to a genre which is known as seinen. The word seinen means youth, but normally it's translated out as horny teenagers. I'm not even joking.
It's about
so yeah, it's kind of like it's all about there is quite a large amount of like lingering on thighs.
It's so in your face.
That kind of thing. Sit a little bit farther away from the screen. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think this is this is proper on like in your face sort of. Hey, what do you think of that? Oh, you're a bad person. You thought about it.
It kind of says a lot that they introduce you to Hannah's boobs before they actually introduce you to Hannah.
Yeah, I think we knew where it was going with that. It's the upskirt scenes and stuff that are really just, and the skirts are all like thigh high, like they're not messing about.
It's one of the unanswered questions of the universe, that how do anime schoolgirls manage to wear their dresses so short and yet not reveal anything?
Yeah. And we do get prop. There is a bit of the blur out, you know what I mean? We don't get anything for like there's bath scenes and stuff, and I mean the blur the stuff out, so that's cool. Because I don't need to see a 16-year-old girl's bits. Thank you very much. I'm way past that. Nothing.
No, flee, behave. Good.
It's like I'll get the thing through the letterbox. It will be my application for director of the BBC already filled in, and it'll be this review here going, you enjoyed that, here, come on board. Come join us.
God, join us. Join us, welcome.
Yeah, no thanks.
Is it to do with this line here where it says I really shouldn't be looking at Miko's ass, but they keep showing it to me?
Yeah, that's just like I'm trying to gloss over that, but then it's just going.
It's mostly the first couple of episodes. I think they actually do it is to kind of like tease people into watching it. It's like I can name so many anime where the hooks are kind of like suspender hooks.
Mm-hmm.
And then after like episode 3, this actual story starts.
I suppose I shouldn't really. I've grown up with like slasher teenagers, but we all know they're played by 30-year-olds. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But when you're actually drawing youngsters as youngsters, and you know it is, and they're just drawing that wee bit too well, not wee bit too well defined, And you're kind of like, oh god, man, oh.
I can't remember if I actually showed you a classroom number. I could actually tell you how old she is.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still look. I'm pushing 50 here. Flipping 30's too young for me. Do you know what I mean?
Do you mean reaching 50s? I'm in my 50s. It's just kind of one of those. It's just ink on paper. You know, it's a painting on a bit of cellular, painting on a bit of cellular, a bit of acrylic. You know, so
it's done well.
Yeah,
but that's the whole thing, isn't it? It's suspension of disbelief. You invest in the universe, and then
I've got to be honest though, anime now isn't as gratuitous as it was back in, say, the late 80s, 90s. You know, the time when Akira came out.
Mm-hmm.
Akira.
Still the best. Still an iconic piece of storytelling.
But now we've got Mieruko-chan.
Here's what makes it. She is a really likable character.
She is absolute. I mentioned it when we were talking before. I really like her eyes because they make her look so tired, and I can like totally get on board with that.
Yep. And also, this hasn't been her whole life. This is something that's happened recently. She's had like an awakening or something's jarred her that she now sees these things. So we'd get the idea that she was happy-go-lucky teenager, just doing teenage girl stuff, not a care in the world. And then all of a sudden, it might have been the death of her father, because we find out that was a major thing in their family, which is recent.
Spoilers.
But they have the shrine. Well, there's going to be spoilers anyway.
You don't see the you don't really see the who you see the shrine, but you don't see who's in the shrine. It just puts the pudding on it.
No, true. That's
which is the point when you realise her father is dead and his ghost is living with them.
I wasn't going to mention that until later on, but you know what I mean.
Well, we've blown it already, so
yeah.
I mean, you know.
Oh, I did share the link. That's why we put these up ahead of time and let people know, so they can go and research and watch these things before they jump on board. If you don't know these spoilers by now, well,
I'm a terrible man, and I should have kept my mouth shut. Go and watch it; it'll make more sense.
Also, there's another, like the whole going underwear shopping. Should we go underwear shopping this week?
I can confirm that yes, girls really do go underwear shopping together.
Could you picture? I'd be like, Flay, mate, I need new boxers. You coming with me this Saturday? Like, we'll have a good time about it.
Oh yeah, go on then. Why not? I need to pick up some socks.
Yeah, and we'll send pictures of each other when we get home, trying them on.
They do, because it's kind of like what do you? It's like, what do you think of this pair with Herman Munster on? Snazzy. I'll go and try him on so I can show it you. All right, Colin, if you want me, I'll be on the bus. Yeah, it's only the girls, especially of a specific age, totally do go underwear shopping together, and God help any man who has to go with them or gets caught up in it.
Yeah, God, no, I don't need that.
She brought the ones with the roses on, which I thought was awfully mature of her.
Yeah, there's bits where it's like, these aren't kids. You know what I mean? It's like, stop it.
I tell you, the third years, they're 18. They're 18. They're young adults.
Upper sixth, right?
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like, if they're not young adults, we are so going to prison. The judge is going to take one look and go, bang them up.
Yeah. Yeah, just lock them away. Just don't. It's not even the fact that it was the creators. You know, they're like, oh, this is cool.
I tell you, like there are scenes in this anime that it's like in the manga, it's just kind of like boop, single panel, and that's it. They seem to have been expanded on a bit in the anime.
Well, these are lingering shots. That's what I'm saying. There's no. It's not like you can choose to ignore it because they're not allowing you to. That's the thing.
And it's like, here's Miko's butt. Please look at it for the next 25 seconds.
As we zoom right in, and you're like,
As,
okay,
as she's like mopping something up on the floor, which for some strange reason makes her hips sway from side to side
yeah,
in the same kind of like manner as a cobra does,
mhm.
just before it pounces on some poor mouse.
Yeah, it's. I just found it quite distracting.
Mm.
There's a chance here for a really profound, dark story.
The darkness is there. The
Yep.
dark. It's just like the darkness is there. But I've always said that it's like the difference between manga and anime is like manga just like shows you a series of still shots, whereas the anime fills in the spaces between them. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons I like watching anime. Is the fact it's like I may have read the manga, but it's like the anime is like fills in the gaps. Especially when, like, say you've got a person entering an alleyway, and then the next scene is the person coming out the other end of it. It's like the anime fills in the gap in between, fills in the time in between. This fills that time in with the wrong things.
Yeah.
Especially episode 1.
Yeah, this is only episode 1, and you're already going, "Oh, I'm in so much trouble." That's what I just feel like. I'm in so much trouble here. This is.
It's like wow. It's like wow. Look at that. I wonder how much worse it's going to. Oh God.
And I get so she has this tail where she grabs the sort of hem of her skirt. That's how you know she's
That's
seeing a ghost.
It's kind of like it's like it's almost like it's the signifier that she's under stress.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a tell when they have stress, but hers is grabbing hold of and tugging on the hem of her skirt. It's the fact that she has to reach up to tug on the hem of her skirt is
that's
slightly a problem.
Thing.
Slightly a problem.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that her arms are lower than her skirt line. That's what this series is like, really playing with you. It's like, oh God. If I was like 13, this would be great.
But that is kind of the age group that this is aimed at. So,
all right. But why is it down as horror then? Because
you're saying that horror is an adult genre?
I know
it's because everybody loves horror, and you're talking about intensity. It's kind of like in this. It's kind of like you'll see a ghost. A ghost will turn up, and Miko's like, the bead of sweat appears. Her eyes tear up. She just stares forward. You see her lips trembling, and then she's like, "Damn, I'm standing at the wrong bus stop." Turns around, marches off, leaving the ghost behind, going like, "Do you see me? Can you see me?"
And that was it. We see that in the school. There's a ghost appears like middle of the day, and Mika just acts as if it's not there. And you see that this is a strong person. That the fact that she has twigged on very quickly that maybe she shouldn't let the ghost see her, or know that they see her. Something bad's going to happen. And
obviously, her grandmother and mother have been telling her the right kind of ghost stories.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see that we've got a strong character here who has an ounce of self-preservation, not your normal horror movie, bimbo.
It's like that. It's like, the kind of like, oh my God, something went bump outside the window. I'm sure there's her eyes. I'll just touch up my lipstick and then I'll go and see what it is. Teacher's outside, hot pants, tank top. That kind of horror character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, this isn't Miko. And she's completely alone in this. She doesn't know who she can talk to.
Yeah, but there's no one she can talk to, because if she mentions any of these ghosts, the ghosts will know she's talking about them.
Yep.
Which is pretty much a death sentence.
Well, we don't know that. That's the thing.
in a lot of Japanese folklore, you ignore them. One of my favorite Japanese ghosts is it's basically it wears clogs, and as it walks behind you, you can hear its footsteps. And the way you stop him from killing you is you just step to one side and ask the ghost if it would like to go first. If you don't, it will kill you. What a great ghost! I really like
Just
that.
teaching you manners.
Yeah. So you see, So it's like I say, obviously, Mum and her grandmother, if she's still alive, have been teaching her the right kind of ghost stories.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like it, being Japanese, it automatically assumes that you know the stories behind them.
But that's the whole thing about making a good series and using folklore, because then you want to explore the folklore that it comes from. European countries used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's only when everything got dumb yankified, everyone chased that audience, that they've lost their own storytelling, which is a bit frustrating, to be honest.
We need more deeply British horror stories, because we have got some damn good ghosts in this country.
Well, with a couple of thousand years worth of history and battles and deaths and murders, etc., all throughout, there's so many tales to plumb from, but we don't do it. We just look at, oh, this is popular, we'll just copy that. We'll not think for ourselves.
Yeah, I see. America seems to have taken like the folklore and legends of like a dozen European and world countries, and it's just kind of like screwed them all together into this ball. And every time they want horror, they just kind of bounce it a couple of times, and everything gets mixed up even more. I miss good old fashioned horror.
But let them do that thing. That's the whole thing. There's room for both. I just don't understand why one has to erase the other. Or what they're trying to do now with anime is dumb yankified as well, and it's really irritating.
Oh, what's it? But if you think about it, it's like this series here. This series is obviously rooted. It's rooted in like old Japanese folklore. But it came out in 2021. It's only 4 years. It's not even. It's not even.
I didn't say they were succeeding. I said the fact that they're trying.
A lot of the money for some of the big anime recently have come from America. It's like keeping on the horror theme. There's an anime that's still running at the moment called Dan Da Dan. A lot of the money to make that has come from America. So they've Americanized it slightly. It's still really, really close. It's still really close to the manga. It's still Dan Da Dan, but it's been Americanized just a little to make
that's
it.
That's what they need to stop. You know what I mean? If you like a particular style, like the style, don't change it for yourself.
It's just to make it more palatable for other audiences. And I do wish they would.
If you're an anime fan, then you like the aesthetic and the storytelling mechanism of that. I don't need to see a British version of an anime, if that makes sense. I'm happy with exploring Japanese culture through this medium.
I'd love to see it
because it's a different culture. It's something out of the ordinary what you see on a daily basis. There's stories there that I haven't heard, which intrigues me.
It's like most anime like this. This has obviously been made for the Japanese audience. I mean, it's anime. Who else would it be made by? So it's like they introduced like the Ghost in the Rain. In one of the later episodes, there's like the twin-tailed cats. They all mean something. They're all significant. They're all a certain thing with a certain name that does either this or that, depending on something or something else. But it doesn't explain any of it because it automatically assumes that the person who's watching this is going to know the Japanese folklore. It'd be nice if they were kind of like back in the early days of anime. They used to put spoiler sheets in the video boxes, so that when somebody did something or said something, you could look it up and find out exactly what it meant or why they did it. They don't do that anymore, and they've never really. They used to do it with fan subs. They used to put like little boxes with text all over the place, but they stopped doing that now. And it would really, really help in this.
I think it's not so much a knowing the lore; it's a storytelling issue. Like I hate exposition all the time.
Yeah.
Show don't tell, and that's the thing that Hollywood's got. They'll just explain every little thing and leave nothing for you to explore. I don't want that. You just tell me a good story, cohesive, and it follows the 3 act structure. It has a beginning, middle, end. We'll have the characterization. That's the only thing left out of this was the 3 act structure of this being a complete story.
Yeah, because it's like we were saying before we started. It's like the story. There's a story there. There's a very dark, a very dark story, an incredibly good dark story, but they don't utilize it. I've got to, the entire series to me feels like a first episode. It feels like when you get to the end of episode 12, it's ready to launch off in another direction.
Yeah, it's all set up. It's the whole thing. All 12 episodes feel like set up for something else to come in the future. And I don't know if I'm happy with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right. It's like 12 episodes. I enjoyed every single one of them. I thought it was really, really good. It's like it was kind of like it was a great. Every single episode has a great setup, but at the end of episode 12, knowing that was the end of the series, I was really dissatisfied in it.
Yeah, no, exactly the same.
I finished watching this. I stormed into the kitchen and I switched the kettle on as violently as I could. I was that disappointed with it.
I need to boil water now. Click.
It's like, damn it, boil now. I need a cup of tea for this. So I had a cup of tea and a ginger nut and felt better. But yeah.
Here's something I did as well with this. I normally don't bother with the end credit scenes. However, I caught one and then I realized that there was particular scenes where Miko was acting strangely. And then I had to go back. I think it was about episode 5 or something to realize that these end credit scenes were serving a purpose.
See, this is why I say, yeah, see, this is why I always say, because sometimes they'll have little like scenes set in the middle of it, kind of like an end piece or something, which teases you something that's going to happen in the next episode. Or the bit at the ends of these where it's like you see the shop in the cake shop where she can't make her mind up which cake she's going to have, and then you get the bit in the end credit or maybe the end credit of the episode afterwards which shows you why she was having that difficulty.
Yeah,
I love those little bits.
I don't like the one where it tells you the next episode. That's why I usually gloss over them, because I just want to watch the next episode.
Yeah but I understand why they do that though, because it's a teaser. Because for the person who watched this when it aired, they've got like 7 days to wait till the next one, and it'll keep them on tenterhooks. Where this one, it's kind of like in the next episode, that spoiled the thing I'm going to watch in like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
it's one of the reasons I don't binge watch series. I actually watch series as they release the episodes.
Unless you're reviewing them, which is like
unless you're reviewing that. I've got to be honest. Never seen this one before. I did 2021. I don't actually remember this one being released. That's how low it flew under my radar. But then again, you can't as an anime fan. I've got to be honest. You can't watch everything. There isn't enough time.
That's the same as being a horror fan.
Yeah, there isn't enough time to watch anything. So you look at the trailers and you read what things are about, and you're like, okay, I'm going to pick this one. It's kind of right. Today I'm going to watch that one, and that one. You just can't do it. So you say, okay, today I'm going to watch that one and that one. You just pick 2 or 3 to watch out of a huge list, and then you catch up with the other ones when there's nothing on worth watching.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I've noticed this with horror. I hate the sort of cultural aspect of it. Of people like, you're not a horror fan unless you've watched this, and I'm sure it's the same in the anime circles. You're not an anime fan unless you've watched this. But what that means is you get railroaded into half a dozen things, and then everybody just watches the half a dozen things. Where what the good conversation is when 2 people are like, "Have you seen this?" and the other person goes, "No," and it doesn't diminish each being a fan, but it means that there's enough out there that 2 people have covered completely different things, and then there's some sort of overlap. Somebody introduces somebody to a new series or a movie, and vice versa, and that's
It
and
is.
things get
That's
interesting.
it. Or you find someone who like has watched a series that you've watched, and then you seem to be the only person who liked it, and you find someone else who likes it, and it gives you a chance to say all the things you want to say about that series to someone, and they can just like say what they think. You can nod and agree. Whereas if you go onto an anime website and you mention either One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, or Jujutsu Kaisen, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, everyone will be your friend. If you go onto an anime website and mention something like this, chances are nobody's heard of it, and they'll all just look at you as if like a third eye's popped out of your forehead.
And not even what's that about then? There's not even that curiosity. It's this whole hive mind thing, which is I'm not a fan of fandoms, if that makes sense.
Like, oh my
It's the same with
God.
music as well. It's where you've got a fandom, you've got this hive mind thing of it's more about
Yeah.
we're part of this club and we got to fit in with this club as opposed to appreciating things.
It's the one of us kind of thing, isn't it? Where it's like, hey, I like this. Oh, one of us. It's like, no, it's like, let me enjoy the things I like. It's like I want to be a fan of the things that I enjoy.
Like ideally from us, if we get a few more eyeballs in this series that maybe hadn't even thought of it, even as an anime fan, cool. Because like I said, it's something I enjoyed. I felt wrong for enjoying it. I'll not admit that. I'll admit that. There's times I felt really, really bad. I'm a terrible person for enjoying it.
Just like forget about the bath scene. Forget about the fact you laughed when Yulia got smothered.
Yes, that was golden.
It's like what a way to go. If only. Nope. That's it. Cold shower. Nope. What's Chris saying? I think with people diagnosed with experimental screen to hear voice to think
but wasn't that the whole thing about asylums and people get thrown in the asylum and then we've got Spursless now and then the fact that I'll use the UK as an example, witchcraft was still illegal until 1951.
It's true. I thought it was later than that actually. I thought it was later than that actually.
It was right. It was officially you didn't go to prison for it, but it wasn't good to say anything, even remotely curious or anything. So there was this whole thing of somebody was talking to me earlier as well about a medium and them shitty TV shows that I never watch. I'm like, that I see spirits and
it's like my friend's grandmother, God rest her soul, will be very upset if you start slagging off Derek Okora or whatever his name was.
What's that who we were talking about? I'm gonna have to look that up. That might have been him. I have no clue.
You're being haunted tonight. It's kind of like, is there somebody in the room named Nancy? Nancy, is there anybody called Nancy? Nancy. Your grandma, your grandma says the key to the safe with all the money in it is under the stair carpet. She gets back, finds out a house has been torn to pieces.
I have zero clue who that is or was.
Derek Okora, he was a medium. He used to do television. He used to do television shows and everything.
Yeah, no.
He was one of these people who stands on stage and says like, "Is there anybody here called like Richard? Is there anybody here called Richard? Richard, your father's trying to get in touch with you. Pay me 50 quid later, and we'll do a Ouija board thing. It'll be fine." Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's yeah. I wasn't going to drop Steve on it, but that was the thing. He was making a joke about he said he was a medium, but he was a large. But I just completely because I had no clue who he was talking about.
It's the shame he wasn't a short person, because then you could, if you went out, you could say he was a small medium at large. I do not apologise. But yeah. Hang on, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, this
just Chris talking about people. Well, that's been the debate, isn't it? That it's the whole were people treated as having a mental illness for having an extrasensory perception, and then it's one whole thing: are ghosts sentient things? With unfinished business, are there residual energy traces? Because we're all this I think what's amazing about us is that we are an accident of chemical reactions and electrical charges, and somehow it's made us. Like, that's the biggest mystery of how the hell did that ever happen?
It's questions we'll never have the answers to, no matter how long we're here.
Oh yeah, there we go. We've achieved a milestone. You got your first drum roll.
Yeah.
Way.
I am honoured. I will mark this date down on my calendar.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The debate goes on, and I have no proof either way. I've never seen anything. You know what I mean? And if ghosts start annoying me, I will find a way to capture you and torture you for eternity.
Tomorrow, you might wake.
Ghosts don't want to come near me because I will study necromancy then if it's
Say,
a thing.
tomorrow you're gonna wake up and you're going to be able to see ghosts.
Yeah, and then the ghosts will soon regret it because I will build a ghost trap and I will have sharp needles.
Yeah, but that's yeah, but like if we're going through like the Mieruko-chan plot line, the first thing is you will be able to see ghosts. The next thing you'll know, you're going to feel squish from a 16-year-old, which is very bad.
Yeah, shush.
That's no, no.
Oh, we never talked about the theme tune as well. Like it goes super bright and almost
like
felt tip 10 type drawn, that type of art. I don't know what you.
Right. There is a slight right. If you ever watched the introduction to another anime series a couple of years old called Zom 100, Bucket List Dead. It's a really bright, colourful opening credits with all these big splashes of colour over it. Big splashes of colour like that is how they is how they censor blood in anime.
Mm-hmm.
So all these massive big splashes of colour that she's running through, and the splashes of colour that's like splashed up there, it's all blood.
I guess that it's a bit like Happy Sugar Life, but Happy Sugar Life had more of a purpose towards it was, as we went on, is it a mental thing of glossing over horrible things, or it had real purpose to it. Story.
I wonder how many people after we finished actually went off and watched Happy Sugar Life and were scarred forever by it. I do hope there was at least one.
That's it, mentally traumatized. Tick result. Go podcast.
Apparently, the opening credit is called "I Can't See Them." Okay.
Yeah, because every episode has its title.
The ending song is called "You Saw Me, right? You're seeing me right now, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
And then we'll have this strange scene where, in the next episode, what does she say? Because Hannah thinks that she's like trying to come on to her.
Oh, they're standing talking in the school corridor, and that ghost comes up in between them and says "morning," and it's like Miko staring straight at its face. But Hannah can't see them, and she's like, "Are you staring at me?" And she's like, "What?" It's like, "Are you in love with me or something?" Colin's smiling. I've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, because they really do play with that, don't they? Like, let's go underwear shopping together. Let's send each other pictures. Like, they're really, really playing that chord.
I still think that Rose.
It's almost Xena and Gabrielle level.
Yeah, yeah. I've got to be honest. I still think Rose's was a very bold choice. Hey, at least when she sent the picture of her wearing the bra, she was wearing a t-shirt underneath it.
This is true, because yeah.
Because by this time, everybody's watching this has gone, ho, we know which direction this is going. And then she's wearing a t-shirt under it. So I
think that
one of many.
I think the sense of fun of actually playing with you. I think they're self-aware, like especially this being 2021. So I think they're aware of their reputation, and I think the creators are just going with it and really Fine, going, we're doing it, and you know we're doing it, and we know that you know that we know that you're doing it.
It did make me laugh. I've got to be honest. I did laugh out loud. I did a proper like from the chesty laugh when the picture turn popped up and she was wearing a t-shirt with the bra on top.
Yeah, I think that's about where I got the joke. And I relaxed. If that makes sense. Because I'm just like, okay, right, it's playing. They're playing with us. I get it's a sense of fun and it's having a poke about the reputation, etc. And this show's just going for it, you know. Fine, you want it to be like that, well.
There are quite a few laughable moments in it. I mean, it's like especially in like the first half of the series, there's some really, really good comedy moments in it.
Yeah, and all centered around Hannah and Yuri as well when she gets introduced. But Hannah is great. Like I just love her character. It's just you need that just sort of bubbly fun because that's it has a tendency to get like really depressing because poor Miko's being destroyed mentally. Like
it's like you've got to have some kind of foil to that, haven't you?
Yeah,
because it's like I think if it was just Miko and no one else but Miko fretting over the fact that she can see these ghosts and that one day she's going to like look in the wrong direction at the wrong time or say something that makes them aware that they can see her, in which case all of a sudden it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers where they all point and start screaming.
Yeah,
it's like you need something to take the edge off that, especially if this is like aimed at teenage boys, which it pretty much is. So you basically got this pair of shoulders with a bubble on top, and it's Hannah. She's there to bring in like a little bit of laughter.
Yeah, and it worked. Like and then the fact that she has a massive life force. Top of all her massive attributes, but it turns out she's not just a massive personality, but like this really glowing life force that attracts spirits to her.
Yep, I sat there and I was like, damn, look at the size of that girl's life force. It's like a huge incandescent flame behind her, boobs as well. You know, it's apparently as you get farther on in the manga, you've had. Are you ready for spoiler territory?
Yeah, go for it.
Right. The reason Miko, from what I understand, the reason Miko can see ghosts is because it's her fate is to protect Hannah.
No, I can go with that. Because one thing we haven't talked about Hannah is the fact that she's Gorbin constantly.
I'd say that's we haven't. It's like Hannah. Hannah has two massive character points, one of which is her appetite. Because the girl, you literally never see the girl without some.
I think I put weight on just watching this.
See, if you had a massive life force, you could burn it all off again.
Yeah, but that's what it's basically showing is the fact that the reason she's not the size of a house is because it's getting burnt out. All the ghosts are feeding over and warming up by her. We'll get a scene later on, which is brilliant. You know,
it's like I made a few notes of myself, and for that scene, I pretty much just put George Foreman. I think I may have picked. I think it's like because it's like episode 2. The only thing I wrote down is Nekomata, which we'll come into later.
But yeah, that's just.
Let's see if you can understand episode 3. My notes for episode 3 is I love big macho guys and butt buns.
Butt buns, I got.
Butt buns.
She still sees them. I finally told OMG. They were spelling out. Oh my god!
OMG, you know, the spelling.
That took me a minute until they appear. That ghost in the bus appears later on. I'm like going OMG the way it's spelled out in the subtitles.
Yeah, the ghost on the bus is one of my favorite ghosts in this because it's just so damn freaky.
Yeah, but you wonder because that's technically 3 ghosts, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Did it? I'm sure it had 4 heads.
3, 4. Yeah, it's
because it's like I think it says 4 different lines, and each head says a different line.
So Was that 4 girls that were in a bus accident? And they still go to, we keep
This
getting
is the
teased.
thing. This is the thing. We've got no idea.
But is that part of this? I'm starting to think now, is that part of the series that we are basically, we're going through Miko, this is Miko's point of view. And are we going through the confusion because she is? So we're not going to learn anything until she does? So there's no exposition, there's no explaining, like other people having a conversation and telling us about it. We are basically Miko as an audience member going through this.
Right. Normally, when you watch an anime, the last few episodes give you all the answers to all the questions you had, but not all of them. If it leaves some questions unanswered, if there's going to be another series. There's got to be one hell of a series coming on for this because it didn't answer any of the questions.
No, just everything's left. There's no resolution of anything.
Oh,
just all these plot threads just waggling out there. Nothing gets. The only one is the teacher.
Oh,
the only one that gets a resolution is the teacher. That's
Zen,
one.
Yes.
Zen, yeah, Tono. That's the only one.
All the other plot lines,
but also at the same time starts a new plot line with him.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, we've got this. The way it switches between the graphics as well. So we've got daytime is so bright.
Yeah.
It's classic horror of the sunlight breaches the sky and you're released from the darkness sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then the creature of the night scurry back.
Everything's bleached almost white, but where there's color, the colors are really strong and vibrant. Miko looks absolutely worn out, but the ghosts are exactly the same shade as they always are. And then you get night where everything is very, very muted in blacks and greys.
I love that. I love that, especially the way they drew the rain and had that animated and just the whole likeness of it. It was really this could easily flip the switch and go really dark, or it could go full comedy. Like it's teetering there on the point, and I think we just broke clean. Great.
Kicked me.
Oh dear, the ghosts realised.
Hello, hello, I'm back. It just kind of everything froze up, and I'm like, not again, and then it kicked me.
Ah well, wasn't at all. No, I'm just this could go one or two ways. They could go really full with a comedy, or they could go really dark.
I actually thought, were they going to go too far with the comedy? Because there are quite a few laughs, but no, they don't. They don't go. It's kind of like it's a really good balance between what should be funny and what should be frightening.
Yeah, that's really enjoying it, and I don't think I'd want it to go too much one way or the other, to be honest with us, because it could be this could be really bleak and depressing show if it went the dark direction, because we're essentially seeing ghosts break a girl mentally that's done nothing to deserve it.
It's like she's got. I mean, damn, this girl's mental fortitude.
Yeah, that's one thing we see from like the upset. This is one strong person. Like she is fantastic.
Because I'm like, would if I was her, would I be able to cope? Nope.
I'd have to say something. I'd be like speaking like, what do you want? I couldn't help myself. I'd be in the ghost's face going, and I'd probably be in the end. I'd be like, what actually do you want, you nutty? Why are you annoying me? And that'll be it. Oh, you see me? Yeah, fucking right. I see you now, speak. Then I'd be munched.
Yeah. I'd be like, but in a manly kind of way.
We'll get the scene in the park, or is it the street, where Miko she realizes she's let the ghost know that she can see her, and she's trying to find a way out of it. Or was that the bus as well? That was the bus, wasn't it? She gets the phone out and plays
Oh
the
yes,
wrestling.
she gets her phone out. Yes, we're at the moment now where we're at the moment now, which is kind of like, how can we describe it? Hands from the desk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or shall we just skip over that and move on?
Yeah, there's
Because that was freaky. That was.
it's yeah, it's really on the knuckles. Some of the stuff is like really.
Saved by Miss Kido. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Now we get this weird couple as well, who're just sniping at each other. You're just like, oh god, hate to be in that relationship.
Oh, the I'm trying to think. Where are we? What's the next scene? Next scene
Just
is
before the ghost alley, before they go to the godmothers, don't they? By the beads, the prayer beads. That's where Miko comes up with the idea that she needs prayer beads to ward these things off.
oh, we've jumped half an episode. It's like after right. There is a ghost who we shall call Mr. Grabby.
Oh yes,
because he likes
the pervert, the absolute.
He likes grabbing things. What things we won't mention, but Hannah is involved.
Yeah, and really,
And she did. Miko is sitting there watching this ghost just like clinging to her friend, and it's just arms and a head.
I just realised Hannah is basically an anime version of Sydney Sweeney.
Harsh.
I don't mind her; she's funny.
Who's Sydney Sweeney?
She was in Immaculate. She's got rather noticeable assets.
Oh,
Honestly, look her up and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
one moment.
She was in Romero's. What was it? God. She's in one of Romero's last movies. Which is only like 10 or something though.
I've seen her in something, but I can't think what.
The last thing I saw her in was Immaculate. It was like a non-exploitation film. But yeah, I just made the connection that Hannah is Sydney Sweeney if she's an anime character. And so anyone that makes that connection will know what the ghost is like grabbing onto. Like proper grabby.
What's the ghost grabbing hold of? Everything.
Yeah. He was so enamored he had to grow extra arms and hands.
I do feel I've got it, and then there's a scene where Miko decides to squirt her with hand sanitizer in an attempt to get the ghost off.
Well, she doesn't know. That's the thing. We're all trying. Miko's trying to figure this out. Like she's just encountered it. She doesn't come across as somebody's into spiritualism or anything else. You know, this is just what is this stuff going on in my life? But
yeah, but she's saved. She's saved by the fact she's saved by the fact that the nurse comes in.
Yeah, that's a naughty ghost.
You'll be glad to know. You know how in the anime the ghost lets go of Hannah and starts clinging onto the beautiful nurse character who's just walked in.
God, the nurse character. Yeah, that's
Yep. You will be glad to know that if you read the manga, you will find out that ghost, as soon as it grabbed hold of her, was almost instantly exorcised by the perfume she was wearing.
brilliant.
Yep.
That's it. Miko's still trying to figure all this out, and like scared out of her mind, but also that deep part of her knows not to let them know that she can see them. She just knows that'll be disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, the moment one of them knows it can see her, it will kill her to protect, simply just to protect the fact that it's there.
Mm. Yeah, but don't quite get the, is it the feed off people with sight? We get no answer. No, I mean, in this universe, we get no answer why.
Like the people with the sight are normally people like exorcists or priests who can dispel them. So it's like basically, if you by killing people who can see them, they're just protecting their own existence.
Yeah, fair enough. But like I said, in this series, we don't get any of that. We don't get any payoff to what the repercussions are. What we need is another character that can see them, and then to see what happens to them.
We honestly we get that later, but not quite in the way that you're hoping for.
No, that's what I thought was going to happen.
Because it's like when the character of Yulia is added, I was actually expecting the anime to take like a darker turn, a more active kind of turn. But it didn't. She's just another foil. She's just another thing for the comedy to bounce off.
Yep. But it's even here in this
bit of a shame.
Yeah, in this episode we meet the godmother, the fortune teller. And we think that we're gonna, she's gonna be the mentor who's gonna take Miko under her wing and show her what it's about. Because we've noticed that there's some ghosts that are quite friendly.
Yeah.
And there's ghosts that still have your humanity, but then we've got these monstrosities, and with no explanation of what the difference is. And we thought that the godmother character was going to be the exposition.
Yeah.
No payoff for that either.
Because it's like we learn that there are some malicious ghosts out there, because there's the scene just before they meet the godmother where she's sitting in a cafe waiting for Hannah. And it's like there's the guy there with the ghost on his, literally standing next to him. And Hannah looks at him and he looks at her and their eyes meet and the ghost comes over. You can't have him.
Oh yeah.
You can't have him. You can't have him. Which is why my note for this episode is I love big macho guys. Because it's like, in order to escape from the ghost, she looks up a video on her phone of these two guys, these two professional wrestlers, and the line she comes out with, speaking over this ghost, she says, I love big macho guys, and the ghost's like, and goes back to the guy she's haunting.
Yeah.
And then the woman he's waiting for comes in, and she's got like 8, 9 ghosts of ex-boyfriends hanging around her.
Yeah.
That's not going to end well.
No, that's what's it. That's a toxic couple, and she straight away goes on. You've been looking at her. You've been doing this, and
yeah,
you're just like, God, who needs that in their life?
It's like, wow. It's like, just after that, we have the alley scene, which is where we meet the character we've called Itchy.
Itchy, yeah. Itchy.
What a great looking ghost though.
And this is where we find out that ghosts prey on each other as well.
Yeah.
So we've got this other introduction out of this world that there's small ghosts, like almost imp-like things, and with human ghosts that basically still have their humanity. And then we've got these monstrosities, but then there's bigger monstrosities that eat the smaller monstrosities, and you're kind of like, what is this world? And like I said, more questions than answers. Could you just like, what is going on? Do they get to a certain size to try and break through the mortal realm? Like, what is their purpose?
It's the spirit world is exactly like the natural world, where the weak prey on where the strong prey on the weak.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically this predators and prey.
Yeah, but once again, it's a spirit world. It's a sustenance. Is it pecking order? Like I get it with like I understand. I think I'm more understand demons than anything else. And I know that if a demon eats another demon, it absorbs its power. My idea is to become the most powerful demon. Read and seen that loads of times. With ghosts, I'm not quite getting.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same with spirits, but it's like they just describe them in the anime as being monsters. It's like, so what exactly? Some of them are ghosts, some are spirits, or some of them demons.
I don't think we've got demons in us. It's demons a completely different entity. But you would think the ghosts are aware of each other, that somebody would be trying to warn. I think I know you have the site. Don't do. We just don't get the exposition character. That's the problem with us. We don't get the characters going to lead the audience by the hand and explain this world.
So when you think you do, when you think you're going to get the exposition character, it turns out to be anything but.
Yeah.
Which is where we go after the alleyway, because they go and visit the godmother.
Yeah, that's my favorite ghost, her and the bus, because it's just you want to know their story, don't you? And they're quite happy. I mean, they're not haunted anybody; they're just jabbering for fun.
Sorry, I'm looking at a picture. I've popped a picture of the OMG ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
In the
you want
Discord.
to know that ghost story? It's great.
No. I found one of the girlfriend. I found one of the girlfriend ghost. But it's. I love the storytelling in this.
You can't have him. Yeah. And they do that sideways mouth thing. They do a couple of times.
It's
like a Venus flytrap.
It's just nasty, isn't it? It's scary.
Yeah. But yeah, we meet the grandmother. She runs a stall.
But she's a fortune teller, because she's just sold a customer bracelet that's going to make her irresistible to men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that doesn't work. You're only guaranteed so many tries or something.
It's like I could come. It's like three more attempts and she'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely great. Yeah, actually, he seems to be, once again, no payoff.
I'd love to know more about him. It looks like he's wearing a sack. Right, Ichi's kind of like dressed in overalls.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he's wearing a sack over his head. He's got a chain wrapped around his neck that the loose end just kind of like floats up to somewhere.
Yeah, he's either a serial killer costume, like a slasher movie,
Yeah,
or
he does. He looks like the main character out of some slasher flick, doesn't he?
But that's what we're waiting. I think that's what we're waiting for in this series as well. Usually, there's an antagonist, or like a main character that's going to have to be overcome. There's maybe a ghost who's trying to break through the mortal realm. They know they have to do something, and Miko's the sort of window. And we're waiting for that story beat to drop. But this is almost like a diary entry, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
It's just like a daily diary of somebody who just sees ghosts and how their experiences are. There's no actual story, Yeah, we get a few bits, but there's no normal plot or what is the theme of this season? Just Miko discovering this happens to Miko, and now she's trying to come to terms with it.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is it's it's like I'm still waiting for that click when they actually like start working on the story, when things start to move forward in that. But by this time you're getting an inkling that it's just going to be, instead of being a story, it's just going to be an episode in which something happens, an episode in which something happens.
Yeah. Just like just an episodal thing as opposed to a season of something. Like old school TV that used to be, you went from episode to episode, but there's no overarching sort of like theme or splitting the seasons. So that might be where I'm having this like disconnect and dissatisfaction with it.
Yeah.
Is I like that. That's why I don't. People don't understand that I don't watch TV, and I never really watched TV. The only time TV I've ever been aware of it is that my mum watched it religiously all the time, so it just happened to be something on. But the only time I ever see TV, like, and I'm talking about from my late teens, early 20s, is if if you're in a hospital or a waiting room or a store and they've got it on in the background, or you're you're visiting somebody and they've got the TV on. That's the only time I see TV, because I will not switch on a channel. I've no interest.
Yeah.
Nothing but crap. And like the paranormal, I hate those reality TV things. Like, I've seen clips. I've never seen a full episode of most of it that's ever come across my radar. And I'm just no interest. Like them paranormal ones where everything's using a bad night vision camera and everyone's whispering. Like, I just need to see a few snippets of that. I never have to watch a whole episode to understand that it's a load of bollocks. So most of that stuff passes over my head.
Yeah.
But this is why things like this remind me of, because it goes nowhere. It just meanders along until you get bored with it. Which is where I could see this going. Unless in season 2, if they bring one out, that they really start to knuckle down with an overarching story, that all this build up in season 1's going somewhere. I would watch season 2 of this, and then I wouldn't want to watch any more if it was just exactly the same way as this.
I think I'd watch it. I'd watch it because I enjoyed series 1, but it's I do.
No, I'd watch season 2, but if it ended up being exactly the same as season 1, there's episode by episode and went nowhere, I would give up. I wouldn't go further than season 2.
I'd like to see where it ends, but it's kind of like but like you say, at the moment, with no kind of like forward movement, it's not going to end anywhere. It's just going to keep being the same throughout its entire life.
And that's what I don't like. That's why I don't like TV. That's why I don't like TV series, because like most generic TV, by the 3rd season or something, they've written themselves into a corner. And it just goes, you get a really strong first season, draws people in. Second season, and then that, like, what do you call that one? Stranger Things?
Oh, yeah.
I liked the first season. I really was intrigued. Season 2 was utter crap. And I'd give it season 3, I just went, what the hell is this?
It's almost like they've run out of ideas.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They write themselves into a corner because they don't see further than the length of their nose when they're planning these things out. And I would see it with this. Like I said, there's plenty here to build up, but there's plenty of story to be told. But if a season 2 happens and I get no payoff, or it doesn't start to sort of coalesce into a storyline, I'd be out, because I couldn't watch this all the time. It's too frustrating.
It has to touch the story sometime. It can't just be like a comic skit of a girl pretending she can't see the ghost in front of her, or a scary moment with a ghost that thinks it's noticed her. That there has to be some movement somewhere. From flicking forward through the manga, it's not yet.
And that's that would be very frustrating to me. So I wouldn't even stick with a manga either, because what I talk about, Pet Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
The manga was worse than the TV show.
How was that possible?
Exactly. But that's me done. Like, I've no interest in ever revisiting that, because I know that the the source material isn't good. It's just goofy. All of it is a comic strip in a newspaper.
Mm.
It's Andy Cap, or it's
It,
Hagar the Horrible. You know, it's that sort of. It's one line, one and done, just for a bit of tee and you Dilbert. You know, that sort of stuff.
It's kind of like it doesn't. The manga doesn't seem to be a set number of pages. Because it's like some of the chapters are like 3 pages long, some of the chapters are like 8 pages long. It almost feels like a filler kind of thing. It's like it's just there. It's like they go to the guy and go, "Hey, we've got like half a dozen pages that need filling up in this month's issue. Can you stretch yours out? Can you stretch your thing out? Yeah, no problem." Which you think, because like I say, it's like there's a great story there. There's some really scary stories that are being told in this. There's some really sweet stories that are being told in this. It's like the bald guy with the tattoos who takes the cat.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like there doesn't seem to be any need or desire to move the actual story forward. It's just kind of like the 3 girls bouncing off one each other with the occasional ghost.
One particular girl bouncing a lot.
More than the other, more than the other 2.
Yes.
It's not.
Oh my god, the running scene. We'll get to that. Holy shit! Boing boing boing.
What a way to die! It's.
Right. So I have said this. Write 5 seasons. Write a 5-season story arc like Babylon 5 did.
Yep.
Babylon 5 had a beginning, middle, and end. And it completed that story arc of the universe. We are covering Chris and I are covering the Resident Evil movies. And that story clearly has a beginning, middle, and end. The 6-film series.
Yeah.
There's an arc. It's Alice's story in that universe. So once that's told, it's done. It doesn't mean the universe disappears after it's gone. So even with this, Miko, at the end of the season, was sort of get Miko coming to terms with the fact she can see ghosts and how to deal with them, but she doesn't understand any of it, and there's nobody who's taught her or takes her under her wing. She's no mentor. It's not the hero's journey. We don't know the repercussions of the gods, the avatars.
Yes.
We don't know there's no payoff for any of it. So to me, the next season should be at least take one of those aspects. So what happens when a ghost realizes that you see it and there's nobody there to stop them? What is the payoff? We need that explained.
I would say the few times they've noticed that they see her, they've attacked.
Yes,
but that doesn't happen until after the episode at the shrine.
Yeah, and it was, but there's no reason why, and yeah, because we haven't met Yuri yet. But what's Yuri's skin in the game? Are there different levels? Are there people more powerful? Are there things that Miko can't see? The predation of the ghosts on each other.
Yeah, I mean,
what does that lead to?
Mate, we've met. What's it? The godmother, who seems to be able to see spirits vaguely, but she can see people's auras quite clearly because she's the one she notices that Hannah has got a huge aura. But she can only see. She can see. I mean, it's like Miko's being followed by Ichi, as we'll call him.
Yep.
And it's like she only sees him as like a dim shadow behind her. So it's like obviously there must be people who can like have different levels of sight or different types of sight.
Yeah, and that's cool. Explore it. We need that bit of lore that
that's it.
explores.
Any more than that, unfortunately, it's not explained. Damn it.
And then this is the yep, she sees him. This is the episode where we'll basically have the whole scene in Miko's house, and we find out that basically Miko's father passed quite recently, and it's what I liked about this is the fact that it's showing the family still strong together, as opposed to do you know when Western shows the family beat each other's throats and torn apart and barely hanging on?
Yeah.
Where this is shared grief. They still make the father part of the home with the shrine, and they're making an effort, I think, to love each other more, if that makes sense. It's a nice message.
It's wholesome. But have you noticed that as a character, Miko's father's ghost is very light?
Yes.
Whereas the ones that she meets outside and the ones that try to hurt people, they're dark, they're grotesque. It's like they're incredibly ugly, violent-looking creatures.
Yeah, but not all of them, because even some of the dark ones, the guy with the safe, we'll get to that, but there's some still have their humanity, and it's that whole unfinished business thing. But here's another opportunity. Miko's father. We hear the jokes at the dinner table, and he's like, "Oh, please stop reminding me about the time I had Miko's pudding."
Fancy eating your daughter's pudding. That's just like unforgivable. That is.
He don't need to add this. Show's bad enough. That they should have just renamed this Innuendo. Because honestly, did Miko's boobs get bigger in this?
Oh my god!
Like in her pajamas, like
I'm like I put it down to the fact that she wears I put it down to the fact that she wears a baggy jumper.
Yeah, because I don't know who was on shift to draw her this time, but they decided no, Hannah isn't getting all the attention this episode.
Also, I've got to ask. Miko's father is perfectly normal, yeah. What's the thing in the house with them?
That's another thing as well, because if the ghosts can see each other and if they can predate on each other, why isn't Miko's father?
I don't know, because it's the bit where she puts the hazelnut pudding, not hazelnut, chestnut pudding, on the shrine, and the ghost horse thing is kind of like pudding, and the dad's like, no, that's mine. So they obviously see each other.
Yeah. But once again, this monstrosity creature thing isn't malevolent. So where's the I don't know. That's what I mean. This is the frustrating part. So why can't Miko talk to her father? Would her father automatically attack her?
I don't know. It's like the answer is because she's ignoring him. Why? Isn't explained. It's just it's not explained. And then it's kind of like it's like they have this annoying way of keeping characters who were in for like just a few moments. They show you more of what's going on with them, because there's like the guy with the tattoos looking after the cat. There's like the godmother working in a field,
but her husband is there beside her. So there you go. There's an example. Godmother's talking to your husband. He doesn't attack her. So once again, the door's been left open. Let's get a bit more explanation. let's get some sort of sense of what the rules are in this universe. I think that's the frustrating thing. We don't know what the rules are. This is all happening, and I get it for what, we're 4 episodes in now. I get it at the start of the confusion because that would make sense. We're sharing the character's confusion of this just happening and her being opened up to this world. But at this point, we should start to learn the rules. What to do, what not to do. It should be slowly getting introduced as we go along, and it's none of it.
I'm like, wait, there's rules. It's.
But that's how universes work. You have to have the rules and limitations, and then stick to them. It's like say a fantasy show, and somebody casts like a major spell, a thunderbolt, so they're depleted for like so many hours afterwards till they conjure up another one. Once again, I'll go back to Stranger Things. In the first series, 11, when she used her abilities, she was wiped out, and the more she used them, it basically was the danger that she was going to come to harm. And that was the finale, wasn't it, of the first season? That basically she used her power to its full extent to banish that creature, and effectively that ended her. Season 2, they threw a lot out the window. She could throw stuff about like willy-nilly when she felt like it, or when the plot that needed it. But if they wanted her to be weak for a minute, they flipped it back. So we had a set of rules. We knew how the universe worked. We knew the limitations of her power, so it was more impactful when she did use them. And then they threw a lot away. This, we're not even getting that.
I think
we're not even getting that of, right, so we know Godmother can talk to her husband. Why can't Miko talk to her father and get some form of peace? And then we can introduce the big bad, or something that's happening, or there's something happening in the spirit world, something's trying to break through, or blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? We can start moving the story forward, like you said.
Yeah, I think I think the rules are there, but the rules are on a cultural level. And because we're not part of this. We're not part of Japanese culture. We're like Japanese culture is alien to us. We haven't been taught it. It's like, say, I don't know. Say you spring one of our shows over there, and it's full of British wit and British humour and British folklore and things like that. Would they understand it?
Only Fools and Horses would be an example of that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Only Fools and Horses would be a brilliant example of that. Would they understand it?
Or what do you call it? One Foot in the Grave.
Oh God,
Victor Meldrew. Like, if you're not British, you don't understand Victor Meldrew.
It's right. This is right. This is truth. It's no lie. You remember oh God, Chicken Run, the Aardman film.
I never watched. That's the one with Mel Gibson.
That's the one where Mel Gibson plays the rooster. Apparently, I have been told that when that went into cinemas in some countries, they needed subtitles. There's a character called Mrs. McGreedy who tells her husband to go and fetch the torch. Yeah, which, as you know, is a stick with fire on the end. Because everyone else,
material, or
because everyone else, apart from England, calls it a flashlight. I think it's brilliant. It's that kind of thing. It's like this is so. It's like this entire series is so written for one culture and nothing else. That it's like things that people see, things that the Japanese person would see and listen and go, oh yeah, that's because this and this, or ho, if that and that happens, the result's going to be this. We don't get any of that. See, I understand why she didn't give the cat to one person because he was surrounded by like what looked like angry cat spirits.
Yeah,
but she gave it to the other guy because he got like the spirit of a cat with two tails sitting on his shoulder. And
yeah, it was signifying that the cats had passed on, but they were looked after. They weren't angry spirits. They weren't violently dispatched.
Whereas the other guy was surrounded by like what looked like pretty angry ghosts.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out why later on, but it's that makes sense. I mean, I can pick up on that. I don't need a whole. That's where we don't need a whole cultural exposition. If that makes sense, that's a pretty universal depiction. And even if they started playing, and then she started to figure out things as she went along, be fine. But we're getting nothing of her figuring it out, because don't forget as well, this is 2021.
Yep.
Not every kid, even in Japanese culture, I don't think, has grown up with the old fairy tales. It'd be like telling youngsters now about grim fairy tales. I think less and less people are aware of them, or if it's like even poems like Wee Willie Winkie and stuff, probably kids would look at you as if you've got two heads. There's folklore that's going missing because everything's becoming a homogenous mess. So I have no problem at all with this being strictly Japanese culture, and I do not want it homogenized into this beige blob. All I want is a story where we get a wee bit of exposition, even point us in the right direction for further research. And if they mention a god's name, or the fox god, or blah blah blah, they get a lesson. That they're doing literature in school. They're doing a lesson, and it reads the story of blah blah blah. Purely Japanese thing.
But the thing is, it's like when they're in the shrine scene, they give you the name of the shrine, which I can't think of off the top of my head. They give you the name of the shrine, so it's like. But if you want information on it, you've got to look up. It's like the spirit from the shrine, the one that looks like the big monstrous fox, is the spirit of the mountain which the shrine sits against.
And that's actually the shrine scene is where I felt was connected. It felt like something was going to.
Nowhere it tells you that.
But the shrine scene is where this thing makes the most sense, and we'll get an essence of the universe and the rules of the universe.
That's where the shrine scene is where I thought the story was going to kick in. It's where I thought things were going to pick up.
Yeah, but it didn't. It's all left for season 2.
Season 2, when it's maybe even season 3. It's
yeah. Like I said, I couldn't do 3 seasons of this format.
But
I need the threads of this to start to be stranded together in season 2.
It's like the anime at the moment and the manga before it are just like random scenes that take place in a day. It reminds me of another anime. There's an anime called Azumanga Daioh, which it was like a 4-panel. It's originally like a 4-panel comic series that appeared in a newspaper, and they made an anime series of it. And it's all about these kids in like the final year of high school, and it's just like scenes that take place, like random scenes that take place during a day, which have like a joke at the end of it. It's one of the most disjointed animes you will ever see, but it's brilliant.
Yeah, but in that context of it's just an episodal thing. Maybe, but this hasn't given me the impression. This has given me an impression that there's an entire world and there's an entire mythology being built here, and I'm not getting the payoff to what it is.
It's too involved to be episodic.
Yes,
there's too much going on. It gives you too much information. It's not just like, oh, hey, look, there's a cat. Reaches out to stroke the cat. Cat bites the person. Person walks along. Oh, look, there's another cat. Reaches out to pet the second cat. Second cat bites her. Laugh. Drum roll. That's the scene. In this, it actually gives you like a living, breathing world. It's almost as if it's setting down. It sets down rules for a story. But then it's like it never bothers to actually like pick up after that, because I think I said it before earlier. It's like the entire 12-episode series feels like a primer. It feels like a primer for something that's going to happen after.
Yeah, it's gonna start getting payoff in the next season. We're all getting built up.
Maybe it will if they do another series. This is the problem with doing anime that's fairly new. It's like you don't know if there's going to be another series. I hope there. I really hope there is. I really hope there is.
I would. I definitely would. Like I said, I want a season 2. I want to see where this goes. But if it does the same thing again, I'm going to be like, nah, fuck you. I'm out. You bastards. Get your guts. Don't get me invested in something and then not give me any sort of payoff. Yeah. Yeah, that episode is where she sees him. Yasuke or Kiosk gets randomly obsessed that his sister has a boyfriend.
Before that, I like this line. That's not actually a ghost. Retail does that to you.
Yeah. That's you can't
that.
In fact, that's the one where she could talk to the ghosts and the ghosts wouldn't know they were ghosts.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
It's like the bit where it says that I'll have a fish cake. Oh wait, no, forget the fish cake. This is the woman in the changing room, isn't it?
Yeah. This is where they're buying the dress for their mother. A birthday present for their mother. And then this is the whole scene with the and this is the one in the tube where we've got the ex-murderer sort of hunting for other ghosts.
Wait, is it?
Or is it a different one?
We haven't had we haven't had like, hey, let me wash your back yet.
Oh no, we haven't got there. We haven't got there yet. This is the one where he basically follows her around. Yeah, obsessed. They haven't got to the birthday present yet. This is just him following her around to see if she has a boyfriend. And he's upset that he hasn't told her. And he's 100% like, this is with the sort of replicate the Nightmare on Elm Street scene in the bath. I was waiting for the hand to come up, but instead we just get this other ghost comes up instead, and
that's just this ghost just like crouching in the corner, and then she's like halfway out the bath, and she's like looking at it, and then Kyosuke comes in bursts into the room. We should have a bath together once in a while.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah. Must be a Japanese. That's the 100% Japanese thing.
He just wants to find out if his sister's got any hickeys because he read in that book that assigned that people love each other with hickeys.
Yeah.
Because in the bookshop where she was reading a book on the paranormal, she put it on the shelf and he crept in and accidentally picked the book underneath it from the shelf, which was called something like 90 Ways to Please Your Lover or something like that.
Because that was one of my questions. Are the erotic manuals in the paranormal section or are the paranormal manuals in the erotic section?
You'd at least think they'd be on the shelf above instead of the shelf below. But it's being the fact she's in the bathroom alone with this ghost, the fact that her brother wants to have a bath with her is a great excuse for her to wash his back. So she's not alone with him anymore. Yeah. And yes, it's perfectly normal.
I suppose obviously in UK, there's always that thing with the kids in the bath together. That was always the photograph, wasn't
it? Yeah.
Until you get to like 3, I think it is. That's the cutoff age, isn't it? 3 or 5.
I think they're both older than 5.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's like the cutoff age in the UK for that being acceptable. And yeah, she's in her 16, 17.
It's like in the anime, just in the manga, just like siblings being siblings. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. And then watching this shitty TV show as well.
That that TV show is awful. It's what's it called? Saturday Scare or something like
Something like
that.
that, and he's showing photographs and going, "Oh, there's a ghost in it." You know, the
Geez, the ghost is here. Focus changes. Face appears in the tent. Oh boy! So, it's like so I like it. That's not scary at all. You didn't have to watch it with me, but I'm glad you do. You're glad you did. And she's like, I'll go and get some drinks.
that was the cutscene at
Yes,
the end that explains that whole scene
it
as well. That was one of the
yeah.
scenes where
I say it's once they explain that scene, I thought, do you know what? That's pretty good. I did enjoy that once it kind of like filled out the details a bit more.
that might have been I think that was the one. No, it was the cake store, the one I saw the cutscene. Then I realized I have to like stay right to the end and watch all these now because yeah, that was it. It just her. You see something or going funny, and we're not seeing what's happening. So what we're basically seeing here is how others are seeing her. You know, which is clever. So this show is clever. There's a lot of thought behind it. I think that's the frustrating thing. It's not a dumb show.
That scene, that scene with the cakes. It's in the manga, but the second version of it is in the manga, not the first one.
So
So you don't see Hannah, like you don't see Hannah gushing over the cake with the teddy bears. Well, she's gushing over the cake with the teddy bears, but from Miko's angle, she can't see the cake with the bears on it. And then she decides that she's going to have a Mont Blanc. No, she'll have one of the cream cakes from right over there. And it's like there is no scene like from Hannah's point of view, like it's shown in the anime. I was kind of sad about that, to be honest, because I expected to see it.
No, I like the way the anime showed that. No, this is where it doesn't just replicate the manga page for page. It brings its own little flavor. So I like those little bits where it's a bit of an Easter egg during the episode of, oh, she's acting funny, but we don't see it. Oh, it'll get revealed later. It's sort of you're looking for it now, you know.
It's like, and this is why. There's some my favorite one of those is the guy with the tattoos who takes the cat. Because he's like he buys one of the bear cakes for himself, and it's to celebrate his wedding anniversary.
Yeah, that's when he was deliberating over the cat food as well.
Yeah, because that was sweet. I was like, oh,
that's the thing. Obviously, once again, Japanese culture, because they're automatically thinking Yakuza, aren't they?
Yeah. My nephew Robert went to Japan, and he's got both his arms of full sleeves on him, and no one would talk to him.
Yeah, because I think they're Yakuza, because that's their
because it's like how do you mark a heart? In not so much today, but in olden Japan, how do you mark a criminal as a criminal? You tattooed their arms. And now it's like a mark of pride, Yakuza. I've played Yakuza. I've played Yakuza. It's great. But yeah, now we're like little old men and dropped 500 yen coins. Where she drops the coin and it rolls under the vending machine because she's gone out to get drinks.
And this is where she gets brave, isn't it? Because they're the tiny ones.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit.
I actually think she's like the payoff is great. But she accidentally drops the coin in the direction that this like 3-inch high little old man ghost ran away in. And it rolls around the corner and she chases after to see if he can find him again, because you know what, this one's actually kind of cute.
And she's going to brave talking to it or letting it know to see what happens because she thinks she can handle it.
And then she meets its mum or dad. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and then it gets eaten.
Then it gets eaten.
Oh dear. Yeah, there's so much in these little episodes. They're great.
And she gets saved. She gets saved by a crow, which swoops down, takes the coin, and then she's like, "I've been saved!" Runs after the crow.
But there's
Have
another
you,
thing. The crows in this as well, but don't get explained. The crows are
right,
significant.
have you noticed the more ghosts there are in the episode, the more crows you see at the beginning?
Yeah, and I meant to look it up, but there's a connection between crows and death. You know, it's always an association that the. I'm not talking about the Crow movie. I'm talking about just in general, because that was taken from the original lore.
Yes, we should never talk about the crow movie.
Not that little one, anyway.
Well, the second one was like,
So, yeah, we'll just gloss over that. But there is a lore about crows and ravens and being attracted to certain areas. But once again, they're not even they're there, but they're not actually part of the plot. They're sort of randomly when they decide to act. It's not even like the crows appears and she knows there's going to be ghosts. So we don't even get that sort of follow through, if that makes sense. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not.
the only time the crows are actually mentioned is in a later episode where someone says there are so many crows around, but that because there aren't as many cats. But more on that later.
Yeah. But then we get the I See Them Too. This is where we meet Yuria. And we'll get a bit of a flashback. The Yuria visits the godmother on a regular basis because she wants to be her apprentice.
Yulia is great.
She's just got a completely different attitude. So I don't understand it. This is an example of a payoff. Because Yuria sees them as well. So then we're going, what's the big deal? Until the gym locker scene. What do you call them things that store all the stuff? Story driven.
Yeah.
They'll keep the hobby horse and all the equipment goes in it, right? The story driven in the gym.
The story driven in the gym, yeah.
That's until I've seen. But basically, Yuria sees ghosts and she interacts with them. And she's a completely different attitude. She's fine with it. She's happy. But because she let people know she's been ostracized, she's no real friends.
Oh, she bragged. We're going to say in the flashback, she bragged to her friends that she could see ghosts, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's makes sense. That's why she's the way she is. She's kind of lonely, so she's looking for a mentor. She just wants to be understood, which is where Miko's heading. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Miko's starting to become more withdrawn, starting to step away from her friends because she can't tell. Does she look at this person, that person, is it real, as a ghost? What's going to happen? So Miko is heading where Yuria already is. Yuria is lonely, frustrated, angry. And then we should see Miko and Hannah at the medium store buying the prayer beads.
Yeah.
She completely picks it up the wrong way.
Oh, bless her. She's lovely. She's lovely. She's gullible and completely naive to everything. But she's got red eyes, so I'll give her a pass.
Yeah, and they're trying to hint that she's some sort of like demonic evil character, but she's not.
I think I honestly, she's like the kid who likes to play at being a witch.
Yeah.
It's like she's kind of like, because when you see her, you think, haha, she's a kid. No, she's just as old as the other ones. She's just very short.
Yeah, and that's where it gets, especially later scene, gets like, oh my god, no.
Have we talked about Hannah's breakfast yet?
Which breakfast? Like, she's so
the
many.
one that's like a 4 foot tall stack of pancakes.
Oh god, yeah.
Because after she's finished eating it, her mother asks her if she needs more. I mean, where she? I mean, you've got to be honest. We know exactly where she's putting all this food.
Yeah, because she'd be like I said, I legit put on weight just watching this.
It's those pancakes.
I think I had calorie intake from this movie.
Those pancakes did look good. I still want to know what a butt bun is. It's like
Or watermelon bread.
Oh, I know. Right, melon bread is. This is going to sound right. It's basically it's like a small cob, yeah, surrounded by cookie dough, and it's delicious. It's really, really sweet. It's like you can the smallest nibble, you'll hear your pancreas screaming in agony. But melon pan is so good, especially for breakfast. Yeah, because this is. Have we missed something? Have we missed the bit where Hannah meets her new friend? You know, the one with the sewn up, the really, really tall one in the black robe with the sewn up eyeballs.
I don't think so. No, because the previous episode was all about Kyotsu and Miko. It wasn't really about Hannah that time. This is where we're sort of back to normal in the school. And the introduction of Yuria.
Oh, hang on! I know what I'm doing. Sorry, I know what I'm doing. While we're doing this, I'm flicking through. I'm flicking.
You're flicking through the manga, and you're like 20 episodes ahead.
No, I'm flicking through the manga. The episode order of the anime does not follow the manga.
It wouldn't, because, like you said, it's 60 odd books at this point.
Yeah, but I'm only on like chapter 10. it's yeah. So yeah, they've messed about. I know where we are now.
This is taken. Usually, you find with these series, they don't go book by book. They'll take a storyline or a snapshot, and this is the frustrating thing because there isn't a storyline. There's multiple threads of a storyline.
I'm going to force you to watch Frieren Beyond Journey's End, which follows the manga page by page.
Okay,
it's not horror. It's good though. Right, yeah. I know where we are because it's like
back with me?
I'm back with you because
Yuria.
Later on is the bit where Yuria, she corners her in the equipment room, doesn't she?
Yeah, because Yuria's busy brings bottle caps with her for the wee mini ghosts.
Yeah,
they like
you can see those, can't you? And she's like, it's like standing there looking around, sweat pouring down. You mean the balls? Yes. No, those things there. Oh, what is it? Cockroaches? Oh, I hate cockroaches. I'm leaving. No. And she's like, damn it. It's obvious this girl can see the little ones. She can see the little ones, but why can't she see that?
Yeah, and it's
camera pans out.
And that's
hideous, room-filling, hideous monster with a square head standing next to her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can you see them? And she can't say she sees them because the moment she says, yes, I can see them, she's dead.
Yeah.
So why? I think it's a case-by-case thing, yeah? It's like the little ones, yeah? You can say you see the little ones because what's something that's like 3 inches tall going to do to you? Tell its mum. I mean, but it's like if this thing is like some huge monster that could probably rip you to pieces and devour it, you don't want to say, yes, I can see it.
But once again, this is something that might be in the lore, like in Japanese lore storytelling that we don't know about, or it's something that hasn't been explained in this series, is what's the difference. And also, they are aware of Mika. They are just going about their... But when they get the Mika, they pause because they sense something in her. They know she's different.
I think Chris likes cookie dough. Seriously, melon pan, if you ever get a chance.
Cookie dough is like, you know when you made cakes at home and you got the finger in the bowl at the end and like
that's why you used to hang around your mum when she was cooking because she'd always pass you the bowl and a spatula or something.
That was the
What,
thing my mum used to make was rock buns.
oh yeah, proper rock buns.
Yeah, my mum was that was her best thing. She could bake. She couldn't cook to save her life. Like honestly, she freaked out at the thought of like Christmas dinner was hell.
Yeah.
Um,
See,
but she could bake, and she never stuck to it. She never
yeah.
made it her thing, which was a shame.
I'm all right at stuff like that, but I've got to remember to set timers, because if you don't set timers, there's a very good chance I'll forget that something's in the oven, which is quite bad. But that's where my head is at the moment. But yeah, rock buns, jam buns. When you make rock, have you ever noticed that when you make cake yourself, the cake comes out half the size, but you seem to have a lot left over for like licking out of the bowl when it's done? It's strange that.
Yeah, I discovered as well. Actually, it's cheaper to buy the Aunt Bessie stuff, just remake it up, than actually buying the ingredients.
It's sad, isn't it? That they're trying, like everybody's trying to get us to eat more healthily, to cook things ourselves, but all the healthy stuff and all the cooking ingredients, the price is just shooting through the roof, and people can't afford it.
Yeah, and it's all the crap. It's cheap. It's bad for you. It's like a reversal of Victorian times. You know why people used to pad out their jackets because being fat was a sign of wealth because you could actually afford to eat. Now it seems to be the opposite. To be thin means you're rich because you can afford to buy fresh food.
It's like if you can't see your ribs, you've obviously got no money. But it's okay because we can't afford to eat. We're all going to be able to see our ribs.
No, but we can afford to buy the processed shite.
That's just it. It's like what's cheap? Right. I'll use pizza as an example. What's cheaper, buying a frozen pizza or buying the stuff to make your own?
Oh, the pan frozen. Yeah.
I'm not going to include like buying a pizza from like Domino's.
No, one of
the other pizza companies are available because they're like ridiculously priced. But you can't win.
No, that's why I make stews and soups, especially in the winter, because I can get more out of because I know how to cook.
Yeah,
I can get more out of. I can buy celery and stuff and make a
sandwich. Yeah.
Well,
it's like when we make a soup or a stew here, we'll always make way more than we need.
Yep.
Because we can freeze it.
Exactly, and then
it's like as long as you remember to get it out in time, so it thaws out. That's another meal for another day on one side.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I do. That's how I get around it. Or I'll buy a packet of chicken thighs and then I'll split them up in the bags and freeze them.
Yeah,
because it's actually more cost effective than buying
individually. Yeah, better than just buying one with two in.
And I have my spice cupboard, so if I need to do stuff, I'll just make up my own rubs.
Oh, yeah.
So that side of things I can sort of get by, but most people don't have these skills anymore.
No, because you don't learn them because it's like you can't. They don't do cooking at school anymore because God help it, should little Timmy accidentally scald the end of his finger.
How's he going to learn?
I honestly think they've gone back to like your mothers are supposed to teach you, but if your mother's never learnt,
it's how you're going to learn yourself. It's like a whole cycle.
It's like, and here's how you cook it, and here's how you cook it. Beep 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 beep. Mind you've got all the instructions for cooking some things on the back of the packet now, so it's all right.
But what happened to I don't know. Like you learned the basics.
Like
I said, I didn't properly learn to cook until I became a chef because my mom couldn't cook. I mean, she would have told you that as well. Like, couldn't just the kitchen freaked her out. She proper stressed out over it.
Oh wow! I started cookery at school as an 11-year-old, and then it was like I really enjoyed it. So I asked my mum, could I help her? That's how I learned to cook.
We did home economics, but it wasn't really. It never went unless you went for GCSE. Like you never got any further. Like you were. What was the first thing I was taught? Was flipping hot chocolate with a marshmallow in it.
Wow! What was the first thing we did? The first thing we did was biscuits. Pizza, lasagna, soup. I made French onion soup. It was really nice.
I got in trouble because they were doing stuffed toys and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I said I couldn't afford. No, sorry, I can't afford the material.
Yeah, because
And
we
then
had
I
like we
started the
had
whole thing, and then I got in trouble at home because the wrong my mum. Could you
wow.
not afford this? There's help available. As if, and I was an excuse because I didn't want to make a stupid stuffed toy.
Yeah, because we had home economics, but we had cooking. It's like it wasn't cookery; it was food and nutrition. Was like a separate thing. Because I toyed with becoming a nutritionalist. But then I started science, and that was it. Boom! Goodbye nutrition. I'm going to be a chemist when I grow up.
I was going to be forensic. I was going to do forensics.
Yeah.
But got the first year and realized I didn't want to because
I
not a mathematician.
tinker with that, but it's just the fact that it's like I like majored heavily in science when I was at school, took extra science lessons, went to college, did chemistry and biology in college, went to university, did the same, got to the end of that, realized I was sick to the back teeth of it and got a job in plastics. Which actually, because it was we actually led me to travel to some countries I never thought I'd go to, which was quite nice because we used to do like deals with other countries and we used to go over there. We used to do like personnel swapping. We used to like a busman's holiday for like 6 weeks, 6 weeks at a time.
Yeah, cool.
Good stuff, but nothing to do with Hannah's breakfast. Actually,
No,
that's how we got into food.
that's the sort of tangent, was it?
That's how we got into food. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I just love the fact that this Mika twigs on that Yuri can only see some things, and it's the things that if Yuri ever got her sight, she'd be in trouble. So the same thing to do, it's just a joker, right?
Yeah, I love that. It's like you can only see like the small harmless things, not the big dangerous things. So so to get out of it, she basically throws a pro wrestling move at her.
Yeah, and that was a good setup actually from the previous episode in the cafe.
That was it. It was like it's a good job. What was the name of that wrestler? He's got a name of something like
something. It
was like Badger Anaconda or something like that. And it's like he's like, whoa boy, I love big macho men. Ghost's like, oh yeah, she's not after my boyfriend after all.
Yeah.
But the experience she got enabled her to shut Yulia up.
And the fact that they just casually she gets taken to the school nurse.
Taken to the nurse's
office. It's all of the school that she basically attempted to murder her.
Like, oh hey, I hear you tried to kill someone else in our year. It's like, well, yeah, you know. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it.
Oh,
it's good. It's the first, but not the last time that Yulia gets smothered.
And this is the bit that Yuri is like, she thinks she's being warned because Hannah goes to say something at the hospital bed, and Miko goes, "No," to Yuri, and Yuri's like, "Is she threatening me? Is she more powerful than me?" And that I haven't even got to the other stuff, which is hilarious. When we get to the exorcism stuff, it's golden. But after all that, we're back to nighttime again. And Mika's heading home, and she is starting to crack.
She is the old woman on the stairs. I love that scene. It's like that's how the entire thing should have been. It's how the entire thing should be. She starts walking down the stairs, and she sees this ghost. And it's like she's like, right, I've got to go down here. I've got to walk past it. She's tiptoeing past the ghost, and the ghost just reaches out and takes hold of her hand. And then she looks down, and it's not a ghost, it's a little old lady who's lost. The little old lady's confused. She doesn't know where you are. It looks like she doesn't know where she is. It looks like she's suffering from dementia or something like that.
Yep. I love why she just carries her back to her house.
She literally does. She just like piggybacks her and off she goes. Because you have to remember, all old women in Japan are only like 3 feet tall in anime. Seriously, if there's an anime with an old woman in it, she'll only come up to like people's hips. That's as tall as they get, apparently.
Yeah, the first time was actually House Moving Castle. I think I first encountered that.
Yeah, it's like Sophie is a tall, proud woman. When she becomes an old woman, she's like really, really short.
Yeah.
And then you get, oh wait, that's Spirit of the Way. Never mind. Yeah. I know that.
Was it in Russian babushka? That's where basically Baba Yaga comes from.
Yeah.
Babushka, the hunched grandmother, because it's the crepitus and the lack of nutrition or something.
It's a great character.
This other ghost, when she's basically taken aback trying to talk to the daughter, I just made them got this ghost is coming around and keeps saying 4631.
It's like, what's the significance? He just keeps whispering it to Mika. Doesn't whisper it to the old lady, whispers it to Mika. Miko.
This is I think this has to be the most wholesome scene in the entire series.
It's definitely one of them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Because it turns out 4631 is a combination to the safe, and this is the old woman's husband who's passed on, and he's been trying to tell her this.
Yeah, because Miko, the woman's going like, oh, is that the internet on her? Because Miko's got a mobile phone out.
Yeah.
And she shows it her, and she types the number 4631 into it and shows her.
Yeah, it's all very subtly done. This is once again, Mika is not a victim. Mika's actually quite a strong, intelligent person, and she is trying to figure out how to interact with these. And this is one of those moments we think we're getting somewhere.
Yes, because it's like this is it's like, is this where the story starts? Is this where the story turns the corner and actually starts to have a plot that isn't just like, because it's like
random things happening.
It's like one story before the commercial break, another story after the commercial break. That's how the entire thing is going. It's like, is this where we actually like we get something we can sink our teeth? It's the moment where after like the old woman opens the safe and finds a hair comb, puts her hair up in a bun, fastens it in place with the comb, turns around, she's a completely different person. She remembers who she is, she remembers who her family is. She straightens up and marches off to go and make soup and stuff. And it's like the ghost just kind of like lurches up to Miko and whispers thank you in her ear. Because it's like, my note for that is like, not all ghosts are evil. Exclamation
mark.
We
knew that from the start anyway. That was the thing. We kind of knew there's different types of spirit, and that's why I'd asked the question: is the transformation the frustration of not being able to complete their earthly business, or is the transformation due to their deeds? You know, that's the question that's been roaming in my mind this whole series, and this is the only time we get any sort of answer or completion.
Yeah, because it's like because it's like the line you wrote next. It's like the next later on in that exact same episode, we see the ghost of the husband, the ghost of the old lady's husband, being devoured.
Yeah, because we'd actually skip past that, but Mika accidentally got into the wrong queue.
Joins the wrong queue. That made me laugh. Actually, I've got to be honest.
Cake shop.
Hannah's there going like, "Are you joining the queue or not?" And she's like, "But I'm in the queue." Ghosts.
But they're all lined up to get eaten by this frog thing.
All lining up to be eaten by the big frog thing in the alley. I mean, yeah.
But then we get a payoff for that because then we see the next morning Mika's in the queue with Hannah, and then we see that gentleman is feeding himself because he's done his earthly business.
And she actually says, "Wait, isn't that the guy from last night?" So it's like she recognized him as the one who gave her the number the night before.
Yeah.
So yeah, you think that so whatever the spirits are doing on Earth, there must be some conclusion.
And this is where I thought it was going to be like Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah.
Remember that one from back in the day? Where
yeah,
basically
we like
episode by episode she would help solve a ghost
Miko
problem.
helping someone. It seems a bit rough that after you finish your business on Earth, you get eaten.
But there might, once again, that there's probably a folklore or cultural significance to that we don't understand or don't know about.
I should have to look it up.
Anyone who's Japanese watching this or familiar with Japanese folklore, if there's a significance of the frog, eating does it come from a story, please let us know, because that would be just genuinely interested. That's the whole thing. That's what That's one thing horror does
Mm,
is share cultures. That's one thing I love about the horror genre. That
mm,
actually, it's the only genre that truly shares cultures and doesn't seek to bastardize somebody's culture just to share it with another. I can appreciate Japanese culture on its own without having to inject my sensibilities into it, if that makes
mm.
sense. I just
Yep,
think
I agree.
it's a new way and a new variety of storytelling. I can appreciate Russian storytelling. Well, you know what I mean? You show me the folk tales and the fables of your culture, and if they're interesting, I'm going to be interested.
It's
Doesn't
true
mean
though.
I'm going to like go, oh, that must have been changed to suit me, or it doesn't make me a comp. You know what I mean? It just, oh, that's something interesting about you that I don't know. That's a cool story. Cool. You know, where's that come from? Blah 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 blah. There you go. You learn something about somebody.
We're going on to Hollywood again, aren't we? Where it's like, in order for this to be acceptable, we have to change it to what we believe is acceptable.
Yeah, and it pisses me off.
Which it shouldn't be done, because it's like you say, every country has its own folklore.
Yeah.
Every country has its own like myths, its own legends.
Well, look at Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Mm.
That is 100% a Swedish story about Swedish life and the Swedish government system, etc.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Oh, we need to make it the English version."
The English
Speak no
version,
evil. That
the,
has
the
pissed me
English,
off no
I
end.
said, the English version of the Dragon Tattoo didn't work though, which is why they only made one.
Well, not in Daniel Craig was a dick, and he wanted twice the salary for the next one because he thought he was a big ding dong. So he fucking put a kibosh on the 3 movies.
Daniel
Silly
Craig is only
bastard.
good. Daniel Craig is only good at playing thugs.
He's. I only remember before James Bond. I only remember from Layer Cake. That's it. Like, he's not a.
Do you
He's
know?
not really somebody that's.
I absolutely hate Daniel Craig's Bond. This is another tangent.
Yes, that Bond, yeah.
Yeah, but because it's like Bond is kind of like a gentleman. Bond is smooth. He's slick. Daniel Craig's Bond was a thug. All he did was hit people, and it's not Bond. It's not Bond. I've read the books. Damn it.
The weirdest book is Octopussy because it's nothing like the movie.
Have you ever read Moonraker?
All right.
Moonraker, just to surprise people, is a car. Because when Moonraker was written, we didn't go to space.
It's just fine.
And the thing that steals the cars isn't like it's a removal van with ramps. It's great. I love Moonraker. Anyway,
Christopher Lee's cousin, by the way, Ian Fleming.
Pardon?
Ian Fleming was Christopher Lee's cousin.
What? That doesn't surprise me. Nothing about Christopher Lee surprises me. Christopher Lee may slightly hero worship him. It's great actor, awesome man. Not a bad singer. There's not many classically trained actors who are war heroes and have released metal albums.
And not just metal, but black metal. He didn't even go like.
Yeah.
He could have went heavy rock or anything. Now he just went full black metal because why not?
It's like glorious. Oh, Christopher Lee. Still haven't managed to get a hold of a copy of that record, but I will do one day.
No, that'll be worth an absolute bloody fortune.
That's why I've never been able to get a copy. I'm not rich. Spend all my money on manga and anime.
Yeah.
Role-playing games.
Why don't you? I laugh when people say, "Why don't you watch TV?" Because where's the time?
I haven't got time to watch television.
This is a couple of hours worth of watching right here. Just to do this review.
It's 12 episodes. You're looking at 5 hours, maybe
23 minutes an episode.
Yeah, because I finished watching the last couple of episodes this afternoon. Because I watched some on Friday, watched some on Friday evening, some yesterday evening, and the rest I watched it today.
No, I started the week before because I knew because of with Plague of the Zombies tomorrow night. So I had to get that done fresh, and I wanted to take the time with this rather than rushing through all 12 episodes at once. I'm glad I did. I'm glad it took about 3 days to watch it because it was there's a lot in these episodes. That's the thing.
Yeah,
There's a lot of threads.
there's a lot of notes.
That's because there's so much going on. Like I said, they're only small episodes, but there's
See,
tons going on.
it's one of the, it's an anime. It's right. It's an anime you don't get bored of because it's so busy. So it's like you haven't got time to look away from the monitor, whatever screen you're watching it on, because if you look away, you'll miss something.
Yeah. This is a funny episode. She sees real crazy ones. This is all about Hannah.
God bless Hannah.
And we'll see their morning routines. Like Miko wakes up with an existential dread. Sometimes her brother's creeping on her. Sometimes he's not.
Yeah,
it's roll the dice, really.
Her brother needs a slap. He really does. You don't creep into your sister's bedroom
and watch her sleeping
and watch her sleep. That's like that. Then it's like you were moaning in your sleep. Were you having a dirty dream or something?
That's the third time he's asked her. It's like he almost desperately wants her to have one. It's like, oh, dude, you are wrong.
It's like he's obviously that age. It doesn't explain how old he is, but he's obviously that age, whatever that age is.
Yeah.
So she wakes up after having nightmares, existential dread, sweat pouring out of her body, peeking through the curtains just to see, in case she's like something's changed and she's not going to see the spirits and the ghosts and the monsters anymore.
Then affect the Hannah.
Meanwhile, at Hannah's house, she's having a plate of pancakes 3 feet high.
It's just all fluff and lightness and happiness and sparkles. You'd be so popping in the air.
She's wearing pink pajamas with, I think, there were rabbit heads on them. Her room is covered with rabbit wallpaper, rabbit bedspread.
This particular character too, she absolutely loves this particular character. And
stuffed toys of this incredibly angry-looking rabbit. I was kind of like, yeah, I need one of those. It's like rabbits. And this character she loves everywhere, millions of the damn things.
But yeah, Hannah is the comedy relief character. She is just the antithesis. She's just the bright light, and they play her really well. But oh my god, how much sugar do these girls eat a day?
It's like, do you know, they're not going to live they'll never make old bones. They're not going to live a great long with that amount of sugar intake.
No, they're going to 30 at the most. Like that's if it's not obesity, it's diabetes or heart attack.
It's like I think Hannah's got a free card though.
Yeah. And this is the other thing about the start to see the spuriousness. Once again, the question comes in.
Yeah, all this food is going to a humongous life order.
Yeah, and that's if you want to lose weight, never mind Ozempic or that silly stuff exercise or eating less, just get some spirits attached to you and you're sorted. Great.
Yeah, she's being followed by the big one now, isn't she? Because at the end of the last episode was the scene. It was like, let's go get some butt buns. Yeah, let's get some butt buns. And she stops. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Let's go to Mrs. D's. Mrs. Donut. I want a Mrs. Donuts in my village. We'll go to Mrs. D's instead. And they turn around, but it doesn't show you why they turned around. I think that's the short at the end of the episode we're watching at the moment. Is the bit where it's at the beginning of this episode, the one where, or the end of the last one. I'm lost. I've cost myself. Where you see this huge, towering black shape with eyes on tentacles and a mouth the wrong way around. Long, really, really like 3 feet long black fingernails.
But this is where we'll see Hannah's aura, really showing, and it's so bright and warm. And the wee old men, the wee tiny ones are like, oh, so warm. And then this big one's just picking them up and cooking them on. Actually cooking them like a barbecue.
It's the way it cooks the first one, because it picks it up and it just drops it on her cleavage. And it fries there like it's sitting on a George Foreman grill. Other types of grill are available. And it just kind of like, when it's I'm actually surprised it doesn't kind of like flip it over to make sure it's done on both sides.
It takes a minute to twig. It's the second one that really makes it obvious what he's doing. The first one you're saying, what the hell?
But yeah, the second one is the second one. The second one's in. That's when we get to the haunted house, isn't it?
Hmm.
Because she's walking along, going to school, going to meet up with Miko, and she sees like a young boy holding like a chain, crying. Apparently, his dog has run into this building that's supposed to be haunted.
Yep.
It's got
And
graffiti all over it.
like that's dangerous enough. But then, what the hell is that spirit when it drops its skirt or whatever else, and you just see the others or bollocks or what just swinging about?
I haven't got the foggiest idea. I don't know, but it's in my nightmares.
It's like, oh, God, that's.
It's like, oh my god, the hell is that? But it's just like she goes looking for this dog, and while she's doing it, it's like the while she's doing it, the spirit behind her is basically having a barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. Once again, it's so many. It could only happen with Hannah.
Because I'm like, huh? What? Damn.
Like he just sees her as a function. Like it's just a portable grill walking around. Like he's having a buffet.
Yeah. Because when she gives the dog to his finds the kid's dog, walks out with this huge dog in her arms.
It wasn't even like a Yorkshire Terrier or anything. It was like a.
It's like that's a so sure he called it something like Pookie or Poochie or something like that. And it's like it's going to be a little dog, and it's like this massive great Afghan monstrosity thing.
Yeah, we all do, mate. We all do.
Yeah. I wish. I found out the best way is just like slightly forget what the doctor has told you about eating things and just eat slightly less of it. Chocolate.
This is the scene where they go to the shrine.
It is because it's like when they meet.
Miko looks up for the most powerful shrine in the area, or just out of the area. They get the bus.
Yeah, because they meet up, and Miko sees that this black thing is just like towering over them now, and it's so much larger. But you've got to admit, it's eating well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Hannah's constantly hungry because it's using the power of a life force to cook these things.
And Miko realizes it's going to get to the point where Hannah can't sustain it anymore. It's going to get bigger than what Hannah can eat, and she has to do something about it. So she's decided to go to the shrine.
See, the shrine has a name, and if it's like most anime, if you look that name up, it will actually be a real place, and it will look like that.
And I appreciate that.
I love how they do that.
What is this one called again? She sees crazy things, isn't it?
Yes.
Sees real crazy ones. Hana to make a Sudami shrine. So let's look that up.
Let's have a look. This is where it's probably not going to be real. No, in my mind. And I'll be like, no, damn it.
It has been. The minute you type that in, it just brings up Mieruko-chan.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh, let me try this.
I'll show you. Yeah, so the minute you bring that up, it just tells you. All you see is.
Oh, well, I've been proven wrong. Then I'm sad. See, but it's like Minato. Minato is a place.
But there again, there's even God of the Mountain, right?
Yeah.
Encountered by. So all of that is purely created.
Somebody. No.
Bloody hell.
No.
Because that would have been an interesting little tidbit.
There was some really famous shrines in Minato.
Oh, I don't disbelieve you. I'm just saying it in this case.
I'm
It's just all
that's
about
it.
the.
No, that's it. I'm going to find out exactly which shrine it was.
And
And
there's just as many questions as we
mm,
have. Nobody's. But yeah,
like
this is the bit where. What did Hannah wish for? It was something really simple, breakfast or something.
oh, it was something like she wanted to find many. She wanted like to find many yummy things to find their way into her belly,
Yeah, that was yeah, that.
or something like that.
Yeah,
And Miko's kind of like, please do something about that, like that creepy thing following Hannah around. I'll do anything to stop her. Please, please lift this curse from Hannah and help me out while you're at it.
yeah. Her. I love the way they actually go through the ritual. You know, when you see them, they give the offering, they clap the hands,
Yeah.
they go through the actual ritual. It's
Yeah. You give your offering. You clap twice, bow, pray, bow, clap once.
you know, what I mean, it was cool. It was just cool to see that little bit of,
Rings
that
the
would be homogenized now. That wouldn't be allowed in Hollywood. You know, it would have to be
yeah.
chains or something.
It'd have to because they don't like doing religion in Hollywood anymore, do they?
No, well, they do, but it's just not. It's a different religion they do now. That shit. But
And this is where you meet the creepy fox girls. I'm saying they're fox girls because of the shapes of their masks.
mm,
But I've got to be honest, they're great characters.
absolutely, this is where she. Once again, I think this is where you think, oh, the plot's going to. This is the story.
Yeah,
This is okay. This is where we're going to be focusing
like
on.
this is important, and
Yes,
it's important, but not quite as important as you think. And I'm like, again, damn it.
yeah, but just she actually summons the god and the avatars, and
Mm,
they take out the creature, and we see that it was powerful enough. We thought it was going to eat. The creature was going to win. It kills one of them, but then it reforms again, or does it get replaced? But I don't know. But you know, what I mean, there's a battle takes place. Hannah is completely oblivious.
she's taking selfies,
Yeah,
which is great, but it's a great battle, and it's like I love the aftermath of it.
yeah. But I really like the fact that okay, we're
Mm,
going somewhere. We know
mm,
that we are right. These are not benevolent creatures. The big scary ones are big scary ones that will do you harm, and it is actually sucking the life force out of
mm.
Hannah. Like it's only a matter of time before she gets drained. Um, and Mika recognizes that, decides to do something, and she actually her prayer or entreaty is answered. So we're getting somewhere.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's like this is it. This is like this is where it's going to take the step forward. This is the thing where the plot's going to start moving. We're going to find out what this is all about.
Mm-hmm. No,
And
not in this case.
what exposition do we get? 3 times.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Boom.
Which I'm starting to count down
Mm.
as a good. I thought that was one of the times, but yeah, it's this plus 3 times. So they just say 3 times and then they disappear, and then that's it. And then that's the end of that episode and that selfie that Miko can see through the photograph what was behind him. Hannah completely oblivious.
I love the fact that they show up in photographs. I
Yeah,
absolutely love that. That if you can
which then gives
if you can
credence to the
see them
TV
in
show.
real life, you can see them
Yeah,
in the photographs as well. I love that. I'm nicking that and I'm using it.
but the TV show as well, and it's a
Yeah,
plot line going along. That you know, what I mean, the TV
yeah,
shows then you can see this stuff in photographs. It's proven you can.
yeah. But because
Like,
we've discovered by now that the reason Hannah went out to buy drinks when she saw the little man was because there was an advert for either shampoo or conditioner, some hair product,
mhm.
and there was actually a ghost in the TV grabbing hold of and pulling at the model's hair while it was flying out in the wind.
Yeah.
It's little flashbacks like that. I absolutely love them.
And then we go on to Urea. Did you see that the next episode?
Oh, Yulia.
I'm sorry, I didn't need to see that. So we get to see Uria's morning routine, which includes a full nude shot. And I'm like, could you think she's a year below them or something because of her stature? And you're just like, no, what are you doing? I thought they were keeping her like completely unsexualized.
It's a head in the hand moment. It's like, but why? But why? Yeah. Why did they need to do this anime? That's why they needed to do that. It's like,
I think they're doing it to mess with you. I genuinely think that they know what. I think at this stage, especially this being 2021, they know the reputation they have, and I think they're just having fun with it.
Yeah.
I honestly do think they're just fun with this.
I could see that. Yes, definitely.
Because that's like something I would do. If I was, okay, we're going to do it, I would start messing with people and playing with them, and that's. Yeah, this is Yuria. She doesn't see the big scary ones, but she has this whole narrative in her head from her experiences, like with the prayer beads exploding and stuff, and the scene in the tunnel. She tries to lead. No, this hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it
this is her trying to lead them in to get Mika to admit that she sees these things, and they think that she thinks that she has to godmother away.
Right, and if you think if you see you think she looks young in the anime, you should see her in the manga.
Oh my god. That's wrong. Do you know that is wrong? That's they're fucking with this. Honestly, they're seriously messing with it.
That's yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's terrible. You have to laugh because honestly,
I've been in this hobby for too long.
Yeah, I still consider myself a layman. You know what I mean? I've watched anime over the years, but I've never like got fully into it. I think it's the like really in depth isn't looking at plots and stuff and actually watching the review, and I can see all the subtext, and I can see that honestly some of the subtext is deliberately put there just to fuck with you.
Oh god, yeah.
It's pure. It's somebody with a sick sense of humor, and do you know what? I applaud you for it.
They could get away with it because of all the fandoms that I've been part of. The anime fandom is the anime manga fandoms are particularly good at taking the piss out of themselves. And the thing is, it's like we know all the in jokes, so we can stand there and talk about it with normies. And turn their hair white. It's
yeah, you just mess them, don't you? You just like
you have to. It's part of the initiation service.
That's what I said. I'm getting the joke at this point in it. I'm getting the joke, and I'm like, fair play. What can you do? You can either shy away from something, or you can just own it. And owning it is what disturbs people more.
That's it. It's like. The deeper you go, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more you understand. The more you understand, the deeper you want to go to learn more. I think it's the same with any hobby.
Yeah, well, it's like Elfin Lied and Perfect Blue. We've seen nudity, we've seen young girls with nudity, but it's been central to the storyline.
Yeah, we've seen. Got to be honest. Between those two, we've seen some pretty shocking stuff.
Yeah, but it was all. There was no hint of pedo-ness or anything.
I want to say it was all tastefully done.
Yep.
It was all what's the word I'm looking for? It was
relevant. That was fitted with the
it was
storyline.
it's like mostly if they touch like just call it a bad subject, they will treat it with, I don't know if respect is the right word.
No, but Alpha led wee homeless girl. You know what I mean? She got
Oh yeah,
molested by her stepdad, so and her
mm,
mother allowed it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then we
But
found out why
it's
she's
like
on the streets.
they didn't just like slam the subject in your face. It's like they treated the subject itself with care. They treated the people who were watching it with respect.
Mm-hmm. This show is messing with you. It's going, hee hee. Here's a
Oh yeah,
schoolgirl. Here's a schoolgirl's bum.
mm,
Wiggle, wiggle.
it's
You're looking, aren't you? Ha ha. Here's a, and
it's
guess what? They're just legal, and you're still
it's
looking, and you're feeling bad about it. And we love
it's
that you're
comedy
feeling
horror.
bad about it.
Didn't you notice half the time when they're sitting some of the times when they're sitting in class and Hannah and Miko are talking. Hannah is sitting on her chair. Her chair is reversed, so her boobs are hanging over the back of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just messing with you.
It is. It's like here you go. It's like here you go. Cop this. Ha ha ha. But it's comedy horror.
Yeah,
It's comedy horror.
yeah, and this is the scene where her first thing, she gets her first squish.
Squish.
Oh dear.
Poor girl. Poor girl. It's like first she gets like her breath choked out of her, and then she gets smothered.
And yeah, it's like, oh, so wrong, and it's hilarious. But Yuria's inner monologue throughout this whole episode is gold.
Mm.
And this is where Yuria has a plan to lead them down the dark tunnel, or the not the tunnel. Is it the tunnel?
Is the tunnel?
It is
Yes.
the tunnel. Yeah, this is the. Oh, here's a really cool place. You'll see the mountain on the other side. It's great for selfies because Hannah's on her. She's now a photographer.
Yep, she because of the amazing selfie she took at
Yep.
the shrine, she's brought herself an instant camera. It's not a Polaroid, but it's something very similar.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, Yuria's like, you must express your art, and this is where the whole scene happens in the tunnel, and Yuria has her prayer bead, and just as Mika puts her hand in a certain direction as if she's exercising stuff, and things explode, and Yuria can't see the big ghosts, so she can't see the whole scene that's playing out.
It's the bit where Mika's got like, oh, I've got a stone in my shoe. So she bends down and scoops the stone out of her sneakers, and Yuria thinks she's putting up some kind of magical barrier or something because she's clapping her hands to get the dust off them.
Yep. And then you see the whole scene through Yuria's head, and it's all it's brilliant. And then we see that there's loads of little ghosts.
Hannah takes a photo of Miko, and there's like a dozen ghosts standing around
her. Absolutely brilliant.
And then she says the line that you should never say. We'd better get out of here before something worse shows up. And the thing that I described as a hermit crab comes through the wall.
Yeah, and that's...
It's not. It's an oil barrel with a load of legs coming out the bottom of it.
That's open, and yeah, that's really inventive though. And you wonder, are these shapes linked to the manner of the death?
I blame Jojito. I totally blame Jojito. being the master of horror that he is.
God, I'll never forget that one he did. Everyone was a balloon head. It was like a hot air balloon, but there were heads, and they were going around eating people. No, that's Shinjo. That's Ido did that weird episode. Like basically, people look like hot air balloons going around the place, and the hot air balloons were like a head, and they're just landing and eating people.
Wow.
And the basket was just landing on the ground, and the thing was rolling over, going munch, and then floating back up into the sky again. There's no reason for the basket being attacked. Didn't serve any purpose.
I'm going to have to look this one up. I really am.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, Edo does some twisted stuff as well. But that's just the fact that Barrel's built into the character, the ghost, and you start asking the question, how is this relevant? We're getting no answers.
But it's just kind of like, God, so much Japanese horror is this weird twisted stuff though. It's like they're not afraid to scare the shit out of their kids.
It's just nightmare fuel. It's just the jumble. Like it's basically like being in a bad dream. Just your mind's racing, and you're going through the experience. I get it. I enjoy it. That's why it's good as a palate cleanser when you just want to break from like Western horror and the typical stories and especially at the moment all the regurgitations. Flick some Japanese stuff on, and it's just mental. It's just fun.
It's very, very rare to find them doing the same stuff twice.
Yeah, and I mean
they've recently I'm not gonna say rebooted. They recently repeated. They recently re-released a couple of anime that were released in the 80s. They've not remastered them. They've completely reanimated them. And it's like they're all right, but they've taken some of the story out of each one because instead of one of the series being like 200 episodes, it's only going to be 50 odd. So they've lost or speeded a lot of the plot up, and it's like I wish they had.
But that's the thing; they don't need to. There's like we've been doing this for a wee while now, and we haven't encountered anything yet that really reminds of us another episode or another series or another movie. Everything has its own flavor.
Oh, right. If as we're watching horror, as they've just gone into the tunnel, you will see the old spooky road tunnel quite a lot. It's like it's a trope that's repeated very often in Japanese horror.
Yeah, but
that's the haunted building. Every school building has at least 7 unexplained mysteries.
But that's similar over here too. I mean, any old building has a history behind it. And if you think of Japan, it's really densely populated in the cities, the main cities. Over time, obviously you're going to get a concentrated level of history because so many people are crammed together over generations at this point. So you're going to get that. And the fact that land is so precious that the fact that a building would be left abandoned for any length of time and not repurposed says something bad's happened to it.
Oh yeah,
I get that, and I appreciate it. But still, I'm not getting, here's the tunnel scene again. Here's what we've seen 10 times before. I still feel like there's something different. It's got its own flavor. It's got its own. I can't equate this to Alpha Night, for example. Because there is none. I can't equate it to Pet Shop of Horrors. They're completely different. Even the animation and the characters, you can't really compare them. It's a unique thing, and I appreciate that. God, you're only halfway through. Holy crap! We're gonna be here for ages.
We're going to be around. We're going to be around for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously they get through that, and obviously food sorts everything out. Now they're friends. There's like a friendship's being built.
That's it. If in doubt, feed them. Which also seems to be like a common thing. I mean, I gotta be honest. I'd be friends with anyone who fed me.
It's always a good start. Food is a universal sort of friendship thing, isn't it?
This is true. This is very true.
Yeah. So this is where we get on to the sort of minor subplot that's built out to be a major one.
Yes, it is. It's like the barrel creature attacks, And the moment it seems like it's going to do any kind of damage to Mieruko, actually, Walter, we missed a bit. We missed a bit where Yulia is desperately trying to exercise this little thing,
The one tiny one.
the tiny one, and she's like, I can't even do this, I can't even do that, because she's just seen like this barrel creature, this spider creature, annihilate everything, and she's like, did Miko do that? Oh my god, how powerful is she?
Yep, and this is the point where the barrel creature realizes Miko can see it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the avatars appear again.
And absolutely annihilate it. They wipe it out, and then as they're just standing there, the two of them just kind of like hold up a single finger.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. Was it counting up or counting down?
They were counting up. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right. Because I got mixed up at one point. I was trying to figure out is they counting up or counting down, and then I thought,
I'm pretty sure it's like Miko grabs Yulia by the neck, and by the time they get out of the tunnel, she's unconscious again. Girl has no luck.
brilliant. But yeah, this is the next episode then that we got. Their teacher is going off on maternity leave. They're buying the present for their mother.
Yes.
Because Suyoka is like, I'll not go into the changing room with you this time.
Someone really should tell him.
Yeah, somebody needs a word in his ear. He's not. Yeah, that doesn't happen. I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen in Japan either after a certain age.
Oh, hang on. Nope, I can't think of what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. But here's the thing as well. Nothing's actually harmed a human yet. And this is what I'm having a bit of trouble with this series. No human has been harmed, and even at this point, the only time they've ever went is when they've realized Miko can see them, the monstrous ones anyway.
Yeah.
Because we've already had that guy realizing that Miko passed on his message and he said thank you and then toddled off. So, and we know from the Godmother you can speak to the dead.
Yeah. But it's like the only danger, like I say, the only danger we've seen so far, the ones that have actually realized Miko can see them, and the one who was draining Hannah's life force.
But we're not actually seeing, like, there's not instances of people going missing or anything, so we're not getting that little. It's a bit that needs to be filled in. It's niggling at me because I'm not getting what's the consequences, because this stuff's obviously going on all the time. Like, these spirits are all over the place. It's constant. And nobody else is being affected. And I think at that point we needed somebody. I think we need a human to see one of these things and see what happens to it.
There just needs to be that little bit of exposition, doesn't there? There needs to be someone there to explain what's going on.
Yeah, and I think the only people at this point would be either the Godmother or Miko's father. Like, there's another character that's going about that's being made absolutely no use of whatsoever, apart from a bit of comic relief.
I kind of hope they bring the Godmother. If it continues, I hope they bring the Godmother into it more.
Well, they set it up, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to read the rest of the manga and find out.
Because she sees the photograph that they took at the shrine or in the tunnel.
Mm.
No, it's a shrine. Sorry, my
Yeah,
apologies.
that's literally towards the end of the last episode. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, even though they've got their faces covered, I know it's those two girls.
Yep. And we're seeing that the only people in danger from the spirits are other spirits. Really?
Yeah.
They prey on each other. It's like I said, it's a bit confusing. We need some of that cleared up because it's kind of like, what is going on here?
There's just too many unanswered questions at the moment.
But this is the bit where we say that we know that the father's passed. Obviously from the previous episode, but we say that the fact that they're staying close, they're still loving the family, and the father I think he just hangs around to see if they're okay. He does want to move on, if that makes sense.
But the weird, you notice, but the weird horse-like creature that was with him in the scene where she put the pudding on the shrine for him, that's nowhere to be seen now.
No.
So was it passing through? Did he drive it? Did he have a quiet word with it and drive it off? We will never know.
No, and that's what we're missing. You know, is he seeing? He knows his daughter. Why isn't he seeing the fact that she can see these things? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not helped her, told him to go away, leave her alone, and tried to speak to her. It's, this is the bit that's missing with all this.
But we know they can communicate.
Yeah. It was a nice scene, though. This is where their teacher just lets them know that she's had a miscarriage previously.
Yes. Because Miko's worried about the fact there's this like a spirit of some kind that keeps flying around her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost, it looks a bit like some kind of squid or some kind of parasite. It's kind of attached itself to her stomach. And it's like, what is this? What is this?
And this is one of the few times we actually get a exposition. The teacher explains she's had a miscarriage. It was a boy, but she's going to give extra love to this one in its memory. And we'll see that the thing's actually hanging around protective of the newborn.
So it reaches, a blob of smoke reaches that little hand and grabs hold of a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is sweet.
Yeah, but that was, we need more of that. Little bits, tidbits as we went along to explain this world. That's what's missing from this. And then we see Hannah's like, oh, it was a moth or something, because Mika's just standing there with tears in her eyes. Like she is having a proper mental breakdown, like ridge of fear. She tells Hannah that a moth went into her eye. Hannah starts to freak out, but it's actually a mini Cthulhu. You're just like, how's that girl not broken yet? Like anyone else would be in the loony bin, just gibbering away, just gone. She is really hanging on.
Yes. Oh, because we've been introduced to Zen's character now, haven't we?
This is the sort of finale that Zen appears.
Yeah, and she's
the substitute teacher.
She's sitting there on the bench with Hannah, and the ghost with almost like insect fingers at the side of it, insect legs at the side of its mouth, comes up and just says, "Don't look at him."
Mm-hmm. And then we cut back to the guy with the tattoos. He's busy. This is the scene. Yeah, this is where he's deliberating over the
cat. He deliberates over the cat food, and then he buys the red one.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's in the bakery store, and he's like he buys a slice of the cake with the bears on it.
Yep, and then find out what his home life's like.
Yep. And then you go back, and the cat's there eating his food. The cake's on the table, and he's sitting in front of the shrine with a photograph of his wife on, and there's a date circled on the calendar. It's their wedding anniversary.
Yeah, and the ghost cats are sitting.
Yeah, and there's a picture of his wife and 2 cats, and the camera pulls back, and the 2 ghost cats are sitting next to the cat that's eating his food, and the ghost of his wife is sitting across the table from him. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is the episode I think explained the most, or give us a bit more insight into the workings. But it's just a little brief snippet, if that makes sense.
That's it. It's just like it's a little snippet of the other side of the mirror. But it's not enough. It's not enough of it.
No, because there's too much going on. There's like way too much. And then we've got the next one. This is the Zen Tono story arc over the next couple of episodes. Once again, another complete misdirect, because they're setting him up to be the big scary big bad, but there's something it doesn't make sense. It's too obvious. Go over.
So anyway, Hannah is being her normal self. Like I say, not a care in the world, just bumbling around.
Just a ray of sunshine, thick as 2 short planks. But she's happy.
Yeah, it's the bit where Miko is watching Zen, and she sees Zen coming down the corridor towards her, so she decides to hide in the toilet.
And this is where we find Yuria.
It's the bit before that where she goes into the toilet and she's standing looking at the toilet bowl, and there's just a ghost's head sticking out of the toilet.
Yeah.
It's like, can you see me? Notices there's no toilet roll. Oh damn, there's no toilet paper in this one. I'll have to try the next one. Closes the door, opens the door to the one next door, and
Yuri's eating sushi, like of all the things to eat in the toilet seat.
Yuri's sitting on the toilet having a lunch.
Didn't even lock the door.
Didn't even knock.
Yeah, and you're just like, who's worse off here? Because Mika has Hannah and a family. Yuria doesn't even feel comfortable, like sitting on her bench on her own, like she's hiding.
You don't really, do you actually find out if Yuria has any family?
It doesn't get brought up.
I'm sure she says to Hannah, because Hannah.
No, because she's in a family home. It's not like she's in a. We just don't see her family, so we don't know what sort of upbringing she has. She has a family. I mean, because we got her morning routine, and we saw her bum because we needed that.
Bum.
But she obviously has a family home. But the fact that she's hiding in the toilet to eat her lunch and stuff and just feels that isolated is sad.
It's like she had no friends in school. She's never going to have any friends in school. She's not going to try to make any friends in school. She's going to spend her entire time eating lunch in the toilet.
Yeah, that's not good. But she might be alive by the by the time she leaves school anyway, because she gets squished again.
It's like. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. She just seems to spend half her life being buried in Hannah's chest.
It's where her lips pucker up as well. Like some of the best or whatever.
It's
and Hannah's boobs do work independently of one another. Have you noticed?
The running scene.
But this is the haunted house episode. This is Mika's best episode. I think this is their happiest episode.
I like the idea that a donut store would have like a promotional where they build an entire haunted house next to the store, and just by going through it, you get 23 donuts. English donut stores, take note of this.
Here is my question though: do you have to buy a group ticket to get the donuts?
I don't know.
Why the three of them only getting one set of donuts?
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. If it was me, I'd be like, let's go in individually. Maybe it's kind of like a group event, and you've got to go in as a team.
I didn't get that transaction side of things because
it's just like go and collect a stamp.
Yep. But here's the thing. This is obviously it's a bit like an IKEA. You can only go one way through. How do they not do it? Are there side rooms or something that we didn't see people not getting through, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
So we don't know how it works. And we didn't see people running out the door to say the field.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, glad I have a donut expert. Well, answer me this then.
I'm guessing.
Would you feel cheated if you didn't get a packet of donuts each at the end of this? And why is it only one packet between the three of them? And what happens if a couple goes in? They automatically get more donuts because it's a packet of donuts between two of them.
Yeah, because it's like the if you remember when they're queuing up, a man and a woman come out and they get one packet of donuts.
Yes,
like a packet of 20 donuts. And I've got to be quite honest. I think if I put my mind to it, I could get my way through 20 donuts. A couple of cups of tea. That's it. The donuts are gone. But I'm just
flipping Sainsbury's ones.
It's
Sainsbury's bakery.
It's like 20 donuts have gone. I'd be gone. I'd be in hospital. But yeah,
I frighten myself when I go through. I buy them now and again. They'll pack for like £1. Out of the bakery. I think there's about 6 donuts or something, like we chocolate ones. And before you know it, you're like, snarf, they're gone. You're like,
yeah.
I didn't even see myself do that.
Yeah, because the donuts are my kryptonite, unfortunately.
They changed the recipe. They used to be really nice, but they changed the recipe in them.
Yeah.
And it's really tastes like, I haven't bought them since they changed the recipe because it tastes really not syrupy. It doesn't taste like custard anymore. It tastes like some sugar-based, I don't know.
I think they're in league with dentists. And we don't even get to see which kind of donuts they are either.
Well, and neither are the other two girls, let's be honest, because she gave Hannah the box.
They were discussing about they were going to split them 6-6-8.
You know it's not going to happen. Hannah's just going to go snarf.
Yeah, because Mika's like 6. Oh, I only want a couple. You can see Hannah rubbing her hands together mentally.
Yeah.
Because how many is like Yulia going to eat? 1, maybe 1.5.
Well, don't want to be bigger than her. But for a gimmick, like the actors have brought in to play, you've got discount Jason, you've got discount every slasher you can think of. You got discount fucking Leatherface, an actual working chainsaw, and they're chasing these people around the place. This is a donut shop they've just plopped this stuff into.
It's great. It's brilliant. It's like Miko realizes, like, because there's not real ghosts, because they're not real, she can acknowledge them, she can react to them, and she spends the entire episode running around screaming as loud as she can with a grin on her face.
Yep, I can let this out. And then you get this weird kid ghost that's following about.
Yeah. And she reacts to it and nobody else does because nobody else can see it.
And then she's like, oh shit, I've done it, I've let it out, I've done it. But it was a good wholesome episode. Once again, Mika dealing with the world. And then we flick back to the godmothers on her kid's farm. She's hoeing, she's got the hoe out, and her husband's asking her, why are you working so hard? And she's like, I don't want to be a burden on on our kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that weird kid.
That weird kid.
But that's a lot of work to go to just for a haunted house gimmick and a donut shop.
This is why I say we could do with the Mrs. Donuts in this country.
Yeah. Just someone with that creative enterprise.
I mean, a haunted house, not just like a Happy Meal with a ghost toy in it. An entire haunted house. Yeah. I made sure to include a page that has Yulia being hugged. It's not quite as gratuitously deadly as it is in the anime.
No, because those things wrap around her like nobody's business. Yeah, but there you go. Now we're back to Tono, and this is a bit where the neighbor comes around to his apartment, isn't it?
His neighbor is creepy. I mean, it's like the ghosts are creepy, but his neighbor's creepy as well.
Yeah, and at the end, when we find out her story arc, you're like, whoa, what the hell?
I may have laughed when that came out, yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that they're really hamming it up that he only opens the door a crack and it's all dark and grim and stuff, and you're like, nah, it's too telegraphed.
And there's all the crows are on the chain link fence outside, and it's like, have you heard? Another cat's disappeared. And he's like, and all the crows just take off and start cawing.
Yeah, and that's. I'm just thinking to myself, nah, it's too obvious.
She's brought in some stew, and as she reaches out for it, he's got blood all over his hand.
Yeah,
and he says he broke a glass, and then he walks in, and he just dumps the stew in with the rubbish.
And you're like, nah, that's too obvious. It's or something else. I'm not buying it. Just because of the way this series is, it totally doesn't fit with the theme. Like if this had been during, oh god, what did we watch last time? Not Terminator. Yeah, if it had been during Terminator Zero,
yeah,
it would fit it in. But it doesn't fit in this series, so it's too telegraphed. So I'm looking for the catch. But we're back to Hannah again, and she's a hobbit. She's talking about second breakfast. I forgot to have second breakfast this morning.
I'm glad it wasn't just me who picked up on that as well.
Surely everybody has second breakfast.
It's like, I only have time for breakfast. I didn't have time for second breakfast.
And oh my god, the stuff they're reading in class, that's grim. Like that's dark.
It's
prodding the putrid faces of corpses and feeling their pallid skin and we're all taking a turn.
And then someone looks at the teacher.
Yeah,
and the ghost appears. The spirit appears. Don't look. And he's just walking around the classroom, leaning in close to the face of anybody who looks at the teacher, going like, "Don't look, don't look."
Yeah. And it looks like they're draining Hannah again. There's something going on there.
Because it's like it's just about to come to a head, and Hannah's belly rumbles and diffuses the entire thing. It gives Miko an excuse to take her to the nurse's office.
Yep. Yeah, because you're starting to get faint and stuff. It's actually getting It's getting like once again we're seeing that especially with the other one that last one, the bigger they are, she can only eat so much. Is this about who gives her the sweets?
Yulia.
Yuria,
Yulia comes through the door saying like my it's like a friend. It's like, oh, you're here to visit. Your friends are over there.
yeah, and then we get the martial arts
She gives us a mushroom candy, and damn, that girl can open 3 at a time.
Yep.
Hannah-chan, teach me your skills. And then Yulia almost blurts out the secret that Miko doesn't want Hannah to know, that she's like that things are draining her life force.
And then this is the bit that Yuria has a realization that Miko's protecting her. So we'll get that sort of understanding between the two of them. It's not a competition, it's just Miko's protective of her friend. And she sort of whispers to her like, oh, you don't want Miko to know, or you don't want Hannah to know. But the thing is, Yuria still hasn't twigged on the full horrors that await her. She's only seen half the picture.
I do wonder if ever they'll all find out.
There's got to be a culmination to that. There's got to be a closing out of the story arc, and then there's plenty in this to keep going. So it's not like it's going to end the series.
There is. It's kind of like I want to. Like I read the story. The anime ends at the end of manga chapter 23.
Mm-hmm.
There are 66 chapters of it now. There's plenty there to make another series. I'm just kind of hoping that, like, when I read on, there is actually going to be some story.
Is the manga still in production? The anime?
The last issue was released about 2 weeks ago.
So it was closed out.
It's still the manga is.
Oh, still ongoing. That's what I mean. It's still ongoing.
The manga's been running since something like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It's been through a couple of breaks, but it's still going now. It's still being published now. Apparently, there's 11 volumes of it that have been translated into English.
Yeah, there's plenty of story here. That's the thing. There's plenty. I don't know why they're being so vague. They're acting as if they don't have a plot, and they're already showing they've got plenty of. They just have to follow any one thread, bring it through to conclusion. They could easily have 7 series of this with what we've got so far. Just 10 up each plot thread. Like this one ties up the Toho one, the Zentono one.
Yeah.
They also open up a new plot thread with them. So there's loads to go. I don't understand why they're writing it the way they're writing it.
I have no idea.
But this we're seeing, there's definitely a consequence. Like if the ghosts are aware of you, being aware of them, there's something that's going to happen. But we're just not.
There's an example of what happens in this episode. When they after they leave the school, and Hannah is eating that awesome looking sandwich.
That was nice. That was like prawns and.
It's like prawns and salad, and it's like, what exactly is that? She's got no idea, but she's eating it. I mean, you can tell what good friends Miko and Hannah are because Hannah actually offers her some of her sandwich. Because they're sitting there and they're sitting on the bench, and Hannah's eating and talking, and Miko's looking at the people in the park, and everyone seems to have a spirit with them. And there's two women there's 2 women talking, and there's the kid with the balloon. And the kid with the balloon waves at Miko, and Miko waves back. And then its eyes just sink into his head, and it turns into a spirit, and it charges at her.
Yeah, but we don't know why or, what the rhyme or reason is. They're desperate to get seen, and then when they're seen, it's like they're going for that person, and we don't know why. Because once again, the avatars appear, and then this is the second time, which I thought was the third, because I thought they were including the one at the shrine, but they weren't.
The first one.
So she was getting an extra go. I was like getting a free life.
I've got to be honest, you definitely get value for money at your 500 yen, don't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it was more the heartfelt prayer. I don't think it was the offering. I think it was the heartfelt prayer, that it was a non-selfish one.
It's like, please help my friend, please protect my friend, and also if you can, please protect me. While the prayer on the other side is like, give me lots of delicious food.
Yeah, but she didn't even ask to be protected. She asked, "Could you help me out with this? What is it? Or explain it? Or just help me understand this or live with it." The one for herself was very half-hearted. It was her whole energy was that, please protect my friend, she's been eaten alive here, and that's what reached them.
Because this is the scene where after like the after the spirit that the boy was gets destroyed, and it's like one of the avatars stands there and it raises two of its fingers. That's when she realized she gave her 3 chances. That was the second time. She only has 1 more chance.
Yep.
And Hannah is famished again because they've used all their life energy up to fight this creature. So I like that. I like the realization.
Yeah, this is the only bit. Like I said, this is the bit that is making sense. And I thought we were going to get another, but we'll get to that. But we now understand that there is a consequence of the scene. She's got a save, which builds up, like I said, the mini story arc. Then we see somebody creeping through the alleys at night with a hoodie up and a really, like, what the hell were those pliers? They look homemade.
So wow, I mean, those pliers, God knows what they were.
They weren't for anything good.
This is very true. It's like Jesus. They were like scissors but with spikes on them.
Yeah.
Of course, it's got to be Zen. It must be Zen, because a lot of people have decided by now that Zen is the bad guy and he's killing the cats, which is why he's surrounded by all these angry cat ghosts, and there's more of them every day.
I'll be honest, I wasn't convinced. It was too obvious. Do you know something's too obvious? But just given the tone of this show, it's too straightforward. This show goes in bends and twists. That's the storytelling method it's using. There's no straight line storytelling here.
So I don't mind that. I think the next like this is the end of this episode. The next episode is the one where we learn more of Zen's backstory.
Yep.
And is the moment where you're like, maybe things aren't what they saw. I actually thought the person who was killing the cats was his mother, or the spirit of his mother.
I knew it wasn't him. It was too. It's too straight. You know what I mean? It doesn't fit in with the rest of the storyline or storytelling method, because everything's just going around in circles, and this is going in a straight line. So it had to be a misdirect. That's why I was thinking about it. Don't care to know what was happening, but I knew that Tono being the abusive person, especially when they made the whole thing about making assumptions and using the tattoo guy, that we're telegraphed already at the start not to make assumptions. So it was kind of already built in there, if that makes sense.
Yes.
But we see Tono's background, and he's got a horrible, disgusting example of a human being as a mother.
Yeah.
Because her husband left her, she has focused all her energy, and he comes back and he's got 2 questions wrong, like 98%.
That wonderful line that she comes with is like, your father didn't love me, why won't you love me?
Yeah.
It's like lady, you go and brick yourself. It's like, you don't say that to a kid.
Yeah, go jump off something high, you bastard.
Because this is at the end of this episode, and it's the moment where it's like he says, but his friend shouts, "Are you coming?" Because he's promised he's going to go to a friend's birthday party, and he's even bought a present. And then you see him like sitting all alone on a park bench because his mum said no, and he smashes the present, which looked like a pencil case and pencils. And then that cat walks up and he just kind of like turns around and looks at the cat with those dead eyes he's got, and that's where this episode finishes, because that's like the after credit sequence.
But then again, we see him as an adult, and this is the bit where he's went and found the cat, or Miko started to follow him.
Yeah.
And Miko thinks that he's the one and he's meant to follow him, but it's too obvious. And then obviously the cat jumps off and runs, and Tono just throws himself from the car to save the cat. So he completely destroys his own narrative, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's pretty good, because he's there touching the cat, and he reaches out for it, and she shouts, "Don't!" And it's like the ghost that haunts him is there, going like, don't look at him." And the cat runs towards when she picks it up and flees, and he throws himself in front of a car to save it.
Yeah, because the cat runs across the street.
Because he keeps asking the question, "Why won't you give me the cat?"
Yeah, and then this is where we go to the hospital, isn't it?
Yes. It's more of the story. It's the story like he adopts the cat when he was a child. He adopts the cat that he found in the park, and he's there doing everything in school. His friend asks him if he wants to go out and play, and he can't because he's reading a book on cats. And then he comes back one day, and the cat has disappeared, and all that's left on the blanket has been sleeping on his blood. And his mum turns around and goes, "Oh, I've killed that pest." Oh no, she calls it vermin, doesn't she? I've killed that vermin.
Yeah, that's how you get somebody to hate you.
What a lovely lady.
Yeah, if you want someone to hate you, that's what you do. No, absolutely disgusting. But then it directly correlates. You know the question we've asked at the start?
Yeah.
Does your spirit form represent your human form?
She's like a spider, isn't she? And she's just kind of like sucking the life out of him.
And that's why he's the way he is, because he's like Hannah. We're seeing what's happening to him. He's being drained. She was like at the end of life, and even after death. But this is where Mika understands how she can use her abilities.
Yes.
And she basically straight up goes, "Will you give him some peace?" And lets her know that she can see her. Basically leading her into a trap.
I'm spamming pictures. I apologize for this.
Yeah, that's what I said. We'll put the Discord if anyone's on our Discord as well. This is all coming up during the chat.
But I'm not spanning the full story.
No.
But yeah, and she chases her outside.
Yeah, it's time for you to let him be free. That's it. But this is the bit where obviously she gets her third save from the avatars. But I think because she did it deliberately this time, this is what piques their interest in her. That she's not just doing it for herself. She's quite a selfless person.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like if she unlocks any kind of power, what's she going to be capable of? Because I'm still thinking like, I'm still thinking like, right, okay, it's like we're getting on in it. There's only a few more episodes left.
Between one more after this.
Yeah, it's like maybe at the end of the final episode, it's like she unlocks her power.
She decides to actually have a purpose with this. So if it's helping ghosts, because this is the only real, the logical way for any of these sort of stories to go is she's going to help ghosts to cross over or vanquish the ones that refuse to. That's basically her two directions, isn't it?
Yes.
But we don't get that. She frees Tono. He decides to adopt the cat, move out of his apartment to somewhere else, and this is the weird scene.
I think Miko pretty much orders him that he's gonna. It's like where's the cat? It's with my family. But when you get out of here, you're going to adopt it. No, I couldn't. You're going to adopt it. But it's like all the ghosts, all the spirits of the cats that were around him fade away.
Yeah,
The question is asked: is it because he's like his mum, the controlling spirit is gone, or is it because of Hannah's aura? And all the cats leave apart from one that stays behind, and that cat licks his hand and then disappears.
We'll find out as well. They've attached because he's going around all the sites. He's busy trying to track down the person who's doing this.
Yeah.
So he's been going around all the sites where they've been killed. So the spirits have attached onto him.
Yes. So when he finds cats, they're either dead or dying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the spirits attached to him, which is why he gets more and more spirits every day.
Yep. But yeah, this is Miko sort of, closing out the Tono arc, and Miko coming to a sense of realization of she had these spirits helping her. She may as well use them, never for herself. Have you noticed that?
Yep. It's always for someone else.
Mm-hmm. Is this a bit where he will find out who the killer is? Or is it
it's soon. It's like the last episode.
Oh, it's the last. Yeah, that's
it's like, you get the music, but it's like to give it maximum runtime. The last episode has no opening theme and no closing theme.
Mm-hmm.
To give it maximum runtime, it starts where Zen's picking up the cat, and it's like Miko's giving him the cat, and her mum.
Oh, it finishes off the battle in the last episode. That's where it's almost like a cliffhanger, the penultimate episode. Because then it carries on. That's right. It carries on to the last episode where the battle takes place. Yeah, I remember now.
Oh yeah, because what's left of the ghost of his mother kind of like staggers in.
Yeah, and she chases after her, but then we get the payoff in the start.
Because there's the bit where she turns up and she's like, Zen, and he's looking right. Miko's standing. He's looking right through Miko, and he's like, "Why did you come back?" And his mother's like, "Zen," and she just gets blown up by two very battered avatars.
This is the bit that annoyed me. She didn't speak to them.
Mm-mm. They spoke to her, but what the hell did they say?
Well, it doesn't matter. She summoned them with her treaty, but she never thanked them.
Because then she does talk about that, doesn't she? The fact that
there's a bit of guilt because she didn't.
She should go back to the shrine.
Yeah. And this is the bit where, like I said, she realized that she could use these two for this. So she frees her teacher. They sort of disappear. And then this is rattling about her head that she never stopped and thanked them. The guilt of not thanking them properly for doing that. And I think that's what leads to her nightmare. Is, which makes sense. She's trying to... She's still a young girl at the end of the day. This is very, like an adult would have trouble if you're all of a sudden thrust into the supernatural world and actually taking part in battles that are bigger than you.
Yeah,
like that's hero territory. You know what I mean? Like proper heroic stuff. And she's completely on her own. Nobody has talked to her about this. She's never had a mentor. She's completely on her own while still trying to grow up.
I think later on from what I've flicked through, she gets a mentor. Because
she needs one. This series, she needs a mentor. That's the thing it's missing in this.
Right, the incredibly awesome kind of like battle scene in her nightmare, where she goes back to the shrine.
Yes,
completely missing from the manga. That scene is not in the manga. They leave they give the cat over to Mr. Zen, and then they Hare and Hannah go out for a drink, and they decide they're gonna go and see My Neighbor. What was it?
Oh, the movie.
Not My Neighbor Totoro.
Oh, I can't remember, but
What
Yurio hadn't seen the
like,
first one.
yeah,
and they didn't say to Yurio, watch this movie and then come out with us.
Yeah,
That was weird.
So they're walking off. They're walking off, and it's like Hannah's talking about. It's like, why didn't you invite her? And it's like, she hasn't seen the first one yet. It's like, well, you're pretty strict about that kind of stuff. Call it a kindness. Oh no, we're late. They're going to run out of butter popcorn. And as they run off, it's like the avatars and like the god form behind them. And that's the end of that. Then it goes to a bloke in a hoodie standing over a cat.
Yeah, and this is where we see the flowers. He's like, I just want to see your eyes. You realize that's things being
Yeah, exactly.
designed.
It's like literally with this cat. And he says, "Don't worry, I just want one of your eyes."
And then there's a bit where Tono appears and goes, "Haha, found you."
Found you. And then there's a nice crackling noise and a flashing of light.
Justice.
But the next thing you see is the police putting up a missing persons poster about the bloke he tasered.
Mm-hmm.
What darkness is happening here?
Well, this is where he's going around. That's what's it. This is the second story arc is going to open.
Yeah, because it's like he's not creeping around at night looking for cats to take. He's creeping around at night looking for the person who's harming the cats.
Yeah, it's basically like a Dexter type character.
Yeah, so basically we think this bloke is now like in a couple of plastic bags, weighted with a couple of bricks at the bottom of the river.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hope so.
Which I feel no sorry or no sympathy.
It's like, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, it's like, fair play to you. I'll not see you. I'll pretend not to have seen anything. No problem with that whatsoever.
Wait, did you see something? I didn't. But then
a GoFundMe for your legal defense? No problem.
No problem here. I don't need money. And then you get like scenes in like the day of a life where I actually thought from the way they put it that it's like Miko has now like stopped seeing ghosts because she seems really upbeat. Apart from the fact when she wakes up and her brother's leaning over her saying like, "Are you having a wet dream or something?"
Are you having them yet? Please tell me about your dirty dream. Like, for free, creepy little. Oh, it's
like it's 2021. You've got, without a doubt, he's got a smartphone. Use the internet.
The old thing.
Leave your sister alone. She's lovely and she's got her own problems, right?
Yeah. Don't do that. That's wrong. Yeah.
And then we have the scene with the slightly creepy neighbor who's taking Stu round to Zen. And he finally tells her to stop bringing food round.
I don't like you.
He doesn't like food that people prepare at home because it's like sometimes it's got hairs in it. There could be hair in it, and he doesn't like the containers because it smells of everything that's been in there. And he's like, it's thank you for the food, but he's going to be moving out soon because the apartment he's in doesn't allow pets, and now he's got a cat who's living with his best mate. And then he goes, and as she's walking away, she says something like, "I can't believe it. How did he know? I hid them really well."
Yeah.
Hid what? Hairs?
Republic's probably.
That right. Got to be quite honest. Out of all the ghosts and all the monsters and things we've seen, that is the bit that disturbed me the most.
Yeah, that's like you are.
Because that was like, oh, it's a ghost with 3 heads. Whoa, that one splits in half. Oh my god, there's blood everywhere. And as soon as she said that, I'm like,
yeah, it's like it's purposely doing it.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then that's it. We're just left hanging.
Yeah, well, I can't remember if it's after that or before it, but you do get the bit where it's like the godmother.
Oh yeah, that's the final scene. The godmother sees the.
She received that photograph.
Who said? Was it Euro Center?
It doesn't explain. It's like it's sent to their address. It's got no return on the return on it.
Yeah, somebody
And
posts her the
the only thing that's in it is that photograph.
Hmm.
And she realizes it's the girls, yeah. And she looks at and she looks. She looks at it and she says something like, "The godmother is back in business."
Mm-hmm.
But
That's it.
It doesn't explain why she's in business, but there's a little bit more in the manga where her son asks her what the photograph is about, and she turns around and goes, "That shrine where the photo was taken doesn't exist."
Ah, that's why it's not a real place then. But yeah, the series just leaves us hanging. That's it.
Mm.
The only thing that gets resolved is Zentono's story arc. That's it.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has a full story arc, and it goes over like
Right.
3.25 episodes.
Yeah, and like annoyingly, after you bit where you say the godmother is back in the business, you turn to the next page, and it's Hannah and Miko in the cinema watching the film they've gone to see. Surely they could have stretched it out one more episode.
13's a lucky number sometimes.
They used to be 13. Right, they used to be 13 episodes long, but episode 7 in the middle was kind of a recap episode that just brought you up to speed on what had happened before. They got rid of that because they realized that nobody actually watched them.
That's fair enough.
So you'd watch the first 6 episodes, have a week off, and then watch the last 6 episodes. I was kind of hoping that I was going to look and find out they do these things called cores. A core is 12 episodes long. A series is normally like 2 cores in length. They'll do one they'll do one in spring season, miss the summer season, and then do the second one in like the autumn season. I was really hoping that there'd be like a second series of this so I could carry on with it.
Yeah, no, we're just left hanging. It's really not fair. I did enjoy this. I'll say I really did enjoy this, especially the second half when it starts to put some of
when it actually looked as if it was going to develop into something with a plot.
Yeah, and then we just got left. Like, screw you, fanboy.
Like, no, give us more.
Yeah, that's what's really bugged me about this. It's like there's no plot thread. She's no closer to understanding what the hell's going on with her. And we don't know the motivations of anything. And we don't know what even the god, the mountain god, and the avatars. They've got a vested interest, and we don't know what their story is. And yeah, we're just left. This is so. It only needs a season 2 if we're going to.
Are you ready? Are you ready for a teaser?
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture here of Miko walking down the corridor, being followed by one of the avatars. Mm-hmm.
We need something. This is not right.
Do you want the link for the manga?
Yes, please, because I think this is what I'm going to read.
Hang on, just let me. Oh god, I've got to go. Oh god, I've got to go all the way back to the beginning now. Where's the menu? No.
Yeah, because this is one.
Because it's like it ends pretty much at the end of chapter 23, and like I say, there are 63 whole chapters, yeah. But you'll get chapter like 8, chapter 9. Chapter
this is
9,
one I would seriously be tempted to buy the physical copies for if it actually has a
right.
A
there are I think it's either Yen Press or Viz Media have 11 volumes translated in English, but that won't include all 63 chapters.
Yeah, so that's no, I need. But once again, season 2
Season
is
2
only
is, yeah,
viable if they're going to actually give us a storyline. If
season
it's more of the
season 2.
same, I will be really annoyed.
Season 2 is needed.
But it needs to actually give us payoffs for all
Yeah.
the setup here.
I'm sending you a link.
Got it. Sweet.
Even just in case you want to read it, they also have the entirety of Elf and Lied on there.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I've got loads of time in my life.
Because it's because you have to remember. I think I mentioned it then. Elf and Lied, the anime of Elf and Lied ended before the manga did. So the ending in the manga is completely different from the TV show.
Yeah, there were some payoffs, like the meal dichotomies, dichronuses. What was their purpose? They seem to have a plan. But there's stuff left hanging there at the end of that, which I wanted to find out about. But this one, the only way I want a season 2 is if we're going to get payoff for all the setup. If they're going to dick us about with season 2, I don't want it. Because I got invested in this.
The first few pages, as far as I've seen in this manga, in the Mieruko-chan manga, it seems to be going in a slightly different direction, but I haven't read any decent way into it to actually tell you.
No, I think this is something you need to read from start to finish. You can't just gloss over. There's too much going on. It's too big of a story. The way especially the way they've done it with the anime, it's too big.
Yeah.
So it's not something you just skip through, and you're not going to get. I don't think it's in a hurry to pay off anything. But like when Tolkien, takes 4 chapters for Sam and Frodo to go from the top of the mountain down to the top before they meet Gollum. Do you know what I mean? He was in no hurry. I think this is the same sort of mindset.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. He's definitely in there. It does make me think whether or not it's a filler piece, though, because of the fact that it's like it does seem quite slow. There's no rush to get it finished. But the manga looks great. The manga looks absolutely brilliant.
I like it. I like what you shared as well. And anyway, it wasn't spam. I actually like this. This would be a good thing for us to do. Is while we're having these conversations, if people log into Discord as well, then we can sort of pop this up as go along. This actually adds a bit extra to the conversation. So if you aren't already, like, jump on the Discord, and if you turn up live, then we'll do this. I like it. It's different.
If I can find the manga.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If it's doable, but there's loads of little tidbits we've been able to find during these discussions. So, yeah. Obviously, folks, in the description, there's the link to all the social medias. So the Discord's in there as well. You can always check it out if you're coming back to this after the fact. And we'll do this in a general chat. So, yeah. That was fun. Yeah, just frustrated. It's like,
yeah, I really enjoyed this one, but as all the ones that you really enjoy, I want more.
Yeah. Anyway, talking of more.
Oh Lord, oh my God, here we go.
What are we doing next? Where's the? Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm never ready.
Oh, I put all the Hell Girls in. I had to take them out. Right. So, yeah, because I did it last night. Sorry. What I do is if there's a series, I'm only putting season 1 in. That's why there's loads of stuff in this one. Yeah, we'll do the first season and then wipe that off and then put the second season into the way. Sorry, I was busy earlier on, so I only got to do this last month. But let's have a go anyway. Doink.
Oh God, here we go. What's next?
So we're going to do Hell Girl. So we're not going to do Hell Girl. We're not doing Two Mirrors. That's the second one.
Oh, for Hell Girl.
We're going for Hell Girl. God, funny, just as I mentioned that. So yeah, we're going for the first one, Hell Girl.
You jinxed it. You jinxed it.
I did. I kind of told the universe, didn't I? Yay! So there you go. Hell Girl's next. There's 4 of them movies.
Wow.
I don't know if there's movies or I think they're movies.
Hell Girl.
Hell Girl.
Right. There is right. It's a series with 26 episodes. 2 cores. Hell Girl 2 Mirrors is another 26 episode series.
Lovely. So basically start straight away, do a couple episodes a day.
Hell Girl 3 Vessels, 26 episodes. Hell Girl 4th Twilight, only 6.
Oh,
I'm guessing that's a series of OVAs.
Interesting. Right, so it's Hell Girl next. And we might do it in 2 parts, maybe. Do a core each. We'll see.
That sounds interesting. 26 episodes.
Should we do 2 parts of 12?
I think it'd be a good idea to split the cores up.
I think we'll do that then. We'll do 2 parts of 12, cover Hell Girl, and then after that we'll spin the wheel again. Okay, that's a plan. There you go. Well, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Thanks again, mate, for turning up. That was a fun one.
Apologies for waffling so much.
No, mate, that's what it's all about. And plus, this was a really in-depth series. Like, there's a lot going on.
I'm gonna what all I've been able to find out is that Mieruko-chan hasn't been cancelled, hasn't been cancelled, which means there is a chance that there will be a second series sometime, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
Let's hope so,
because I'd really like to see more of this.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's like, despite the first 3 episodes waggling bums and boobs at me of teenage girls.
I say it's just kind of like that was obviously the catch, because once you got to episode 4, there was very little of that until we started, like, suffocating Yulia every other episode.
Yeah, but there's plenty of story. It wasn't just that, because it'd be boring otherwise. There's plenty going on, and there's a whole lore here to explore, and there's lots of plot lines.
I really hope they can continue with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna hope and see. Well, let's see what Hell Girls next time. Are we playing Alien next week or the week after?
Is it the week after?
It's week. It's not this week. It's
Yeah, because this coming week is Sorcerer.
Yep. Dun, dun, dun. So there you go, folks. Until next time, come to the channel, do technical things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.
Bye all.
Bye.